Action Shelf. The Action Shelf. The Action Shelf.
Welcome to the Action Shelf, the podcast that celebrates the glory of B-action movies. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Michael Listman.
Oh, Listman, we've got a very special episode this week for a few reasons. First off, we have an exciting guest with us, but also we're back in ninja subgenre here.
Yes, and fortunately for this movie, the protagonist of the movie is actually the ninja in the movie, and not a side character for whatever reason.
Yeah, I know. This is only the second ninja movie we've done, but this is much more of a ninja movie than the one we did previously.
It's hard not to compare this movie to Ninja 3: The Domination just because of that.
One, especially because the ninja is played by the same actor.
Right. But also, like you said, these are the only two ninja.
Yeah, we've only done two ninja movies. But if we're doing a ninja movie, there are very few guests as suited for that as our pal Ibrahim Moustafa.
What's up?
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Ibrahim. We've been trying to get you on for a while because, man, I just knew this was a perfect fit of show and guest with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how the subject of this particular movie came about. Like, I think it was a very coincidental, like, hey, I want to have you on for this movie, Pray for Death. And I was like, I love that movie, and I just bought it on Blu-ray.
I think it was. This was this is slid around the calendar because I'm going like, oh, we can't do this without Ibrahim. So this has been on multiple times our calendar based on your availability because we will not unlink this from you. You had to do Pray for Death with us.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I also had bought. I think we were just casually talking about the fact that I had also bought this Blu-ray of this, and we're both like, yeah, we both got Pray for Death. We should do this on the show.
Yeah, that might have been it. Because I think it came out on some like special edition Blu-ray and we both got it at the same time.
Yeah,
maybe.
Arrow Video, and I had to add this too because I think I own almost all of Sho Kosugi's movies now, aside from maybe one that I see on IMDb that like has no U.S. release. But this guy, man. I mean, he was the king of the ninja movie. So,
yeah.
Listman, you this is your first. I mean, I actually hadn't seen this before getting it on Blu-ray.
Okay.
So this was actually a first viewing for me. Ibrahim, were you familiar with the movie prior to this?
Yeah, I went through a big. I mean, you know, I was born in '85, so like I've known what a ninja was my entire life, basically.
Yeah, right.
And I went through this like ninja renaissance when I was in like late middle school, early high school because, and I just mentioned this to you guys off air, but I had played a game called Tenchu Stealth Assassins over at a friend's house. And it's a PS1 game that it's, you know, you're a ninja in feudal Japan and it's incredible. And it was just like, it was everything I had ever wanted. And that totally just got me back into that zone. You know, and I had already been like saving up for a ninja sword from Excalibur at the mall when I was that age. So it was, you know, So I rented like every possible ninja movie from Hollywood Video at the time. So I had seen this one years and years ago, and then watching it yesterday was the first time since then.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see how my memory matched up to what is actually in the movie.
Sure. I mean, and that's the interesting thing about watching this movie is this is Sho Kosugi, who had come before this from doing the canon ninja films, which I'm, you know, man, those are the ones I grew up on for sure. Was the Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3: The Domination, a little bit less so only because, as we did previously do that for one of our Halloween episodes, not really a ninja, kind of a ninja movie. The ninja stuff that's in it actually is pretty cool. Anytime it's just Sho Kosugi fighting
Yeah.
the evil ninja. It's cool.
But it does feel like he's just sort of like a side note on the overall plot of the movie, which is unfortunate.
This one was
yeah.
cool to see him take center stage. But the thing that amazed me watching this movie was it's not a canon film because it really feels like a canon film.
Oh yeah, and I think all of the best ways, all of the things we look for in canon films were in this film.
Yes,
which I think
this is
led to. I mean, I assumed both of you loved this movie.
Sure.
I really liked it as well. This being my first viewing, this was great.
Yeah, it's nice to have some positive feelings towards a movie. It does have some of the negative stuff of canon. Listen, can we watch one movie that doesn't have a fucking rape scene in it? I mean, it's insane. Every movie we do on this show, there is at least an attempted rape.
Yeah.
I guess it comes with the exploitation territory, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was such a thing in the 80s too.
Yeah.
Like, it was like they were getting edgier and that kind of stuff. And
well, it's interesting. I was looking at, as I always do, searching through the IMDb reviews for this, and somebody did call it Death Wish with ninjas, which I'm going, i.e. better Death Wish.
right.
and that certainly, that aspect of it of they killed his family, they raped his wife, very much feels like that's what this movie is. I do, as if I can, I do have a budget for this movie.
Oh.
And so Ibrahim, we'll welcome you to play along with Listman here and take your best guess at what this movie cost. This is 1985.
See, that was what was going to throw me off because I was thinking like I don't know what the sort of inflation difference would be. So I think I'm gonna let Michael take this one because I like hearing how close he gets on these.
Yeah, Listman's getting better episode to episode.
A little
We've
bit
talked
better.
about this.
Yeah.
So 1985. And
this is relatively cheap, but there was a couple of big explosions, which is fun.
Yes.
There's
a great action movie explosion for no reason in this movie that I absolutely love.
I think I think both of the explosions happen for no reason, which is I think I burst out loud laughing at that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm gonna say $15 million.
Ooh, wow. That would have been big, Listman. It's $4 million in 1985.
$4 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1985 money, that's low to middle kind of,
Yeah.
So $4 million, pretty good. Shot on location in beautiful Houston, Texas.
I thought that was Texas. Yeah.
No, it in no way feels like inner city New York is it supposed to be New York? I can't.
Well, they don't really
say.
specify.
Yeah.
It's just
America. Like it's some big city in America. Don't worry.
I thought it was LA when I was, thinking back on it. And so when I was watching, I was like, well, that's not downtown LA for sure.
No.
And there were no California license plates, so I couldn't really discern where it was.
Yeah. It's Houston. The movie was shot entirely in Houston. Aside from there are some establishing shots of LA I see here now. So that I think was what they were going for. But I do love this idea that it's just American City.
Yes. Yes. It's a very
and of course a crime
vision.
riddled in classic 80s revenge movie fashion. I was going to say, Ibrahim, this movie had to hit the sweet spot for you because I know not only do you love ninja movies, but you are a great fan of the revenge subgenre as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And one thing that's interesting about this movie is that while it had a lot of 80s trappings, I thought there were a lot of more modern sensibilities about it, like just about the story in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could take this same exact script and shoot it today and it would more or less work. Like you would just have better kind of action sequences in terms of the fight choreography and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that is the thing. We do this show every week, and I will say this movie really grabbed me in a way most of these plots don't. I'm pretty checked out and kind of, but I was actually, this was actually like a good movie for this kind of subgenre.
I think the key to it is that they don't get over ambitious with the storytelling. It is pretty focused. It is pretty personal. So I think that's where a lot of these movies go wrong. They just get way too big for no reason.
Well, Listman, we like
Yeah.
to talk about who made these movies, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw this. Who the writer of this movie is James Booth, who also plays the villain Limehouse Willie. He not only
Is he Australian? Because I heard an Australian accent slip through a few times.
he
and
is
I thought,
he is British, and this is
okay.
yeah.
There is
And
an
I think
accent.
the Australian thing may have just been the merging of the American and British
Yeah, it
kind of.
was Commonwealth,
Yeah.
in the ballpark, right?
Yeah, he's Brit, and that's the whole thing. Listman, I know you being having some acting training and stuff like that. This guy went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. He was part of the Royal Shakespeare Company. This guy's a classically trained actor. And somehow, late in his career, he ends up writing and starring in ninja movies, because this guy also wrote 3 of the American Ninja sequels.
Oh wow,
Yes.
he was very good in this movie.
Yeah.
I thought that I mean, it makes sense that he wrote it because there was a level of investment, I think, from him that you don't typically see in a movie like this. And also, now that I'm thinking about it, I have a note here that says, "Why is the villain the best martial artist in this movie? Like, he's like the best fighter in this movie. Like, he was
Yeah, they
kicking
don't really
the shit
explain
out of
that.
Shokasugi at the end, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Throughout the
Yeah,
whole movie,
so-
I kept going, why is this middle-aged gangster fucking unstoppable in this thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
This
tearing
movie
through
didn't explain
cops.
that in the script. Yeah.
I had my note said the gangster guy is the most incredible fighter in this ninja movie.
It is really insane. But yeah, he wrote this movie, and so also he gets the majority of the dialogue, I feel like, goes to Limehouse
Yes.
Willie. It is a weird I just think that what an insane career, because he wrote Avenging Force, which, Listman, we're gonna have to do that, because Avenging Force is the sequel to Invasion USA. Just without Chuck Norris, they slot in Michael Dudikoff as Matt Hunter.
Okay. Yeah, bring back the Dudikoff.
And then wrote American Ninja 2 and 4, also, of course, with Dudikoff.
This trajectory makes sense to me. If I studied at the Royal Shakespeare Company, I'd probably also then just like, well, I can do anything at this point. I might as well put myself into ninja movies, because why wouldn't I?
It's so interesting because you look at his career and it's all like, British movies, BBC productions, and then somewhere in the 80s it just becomes all canon schlock, until eventually in the 90s he ends up on Twin Peaks, which is, prestige television. So this guy's career is fascinating. I'm fascinated by James Booth. And then Gordon Hessler is the director of this movie, who, let's see, what did he direct? Mainly a TV director. Oh, this actually makes sense to me. He's coming off of being a director on Chips before this.
When I finished watching the movie and it took me back to the main menu and it was like special features, and I said, well, of course.
Yeah.
I clicked that and it says R-rated version. And I was like, wait, excuse me? So now I'm finding out that there was a Hessler cut to this movie that I didn't even, I mean, the one I saw was pretty bloody and stuff. So I don't know what the difference would have been. There wasn't a lot of like cursing, I don't think, in this movie. So maybe that was part of it.
I would love if the Hessler cut is just the same movie with so much more cursing.
Right. Maybe there was a boob or two in it. I don't know, but it was.
Yeah,
it'll give me a reason to watch it again in the future, I guess,
now,
to see what the difference is.
I also want to bring up that this guy directed on a show called The Master. Are you guys familiar with this show from the 80s?
No.
It rings a bell.
It only lasted 13 episodes. It was a Lee Van Cleef starring series.
That's right.
About ninjas, and Sho Kosugi was the villain on it.
Okay. It was. I think it was called Master. There was another title of it called like Master Ninja.
Oh,
and
maybe.
Because I remember at the Hollywood Video I worked at, we had 7 VHS copies. That was like, Master Ninja 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
also
7.
known as Master Ninja. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It only lasted 13 episodes in 1984. I've never seen it. I've always been fascinated by it because it was an American network TV show centered around ninjas, like that in the heyday of the ninja, of course.
Yeah.
But I've always been fascinated with this because, number one, I love Lee Van Cleef from the Sergio Leone movies and stuff like that. I don't immediately jump to that guy should be in a ninja show.
No, but yeah,
he was in the Octagon.
I don't think I ever rented that one because I was like, I want it to be about Japanese ninjas, not handlebar mustache man named Lee Van Cleef.
You've got old Lee Van Cleef, some total boring white dude, and then Sho Kosugi looking badass on the poster, And you're like, yeah, Sho Kosugi will be the bad guy. That is one of the things that is so nice about this one is it is the spotlight on Kosugi. This is
because usually it is your Michael Dudikoff or your, I can't remember the name of the guy in the first ninja movie, but
Franco Nero is the guy in the Enter the Ninja.
Yeah. So to have, the lead be a Japanese man who, has an accent and all that, like I thought that was pretty cool for the time, especially.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty so rare. Interesting that Sho Kosugi leaves canon and their next move is slot in Dudikoff, and now we're making American Ninja. And just from the title, you're like, oh, American Ninja? Okay. So it is nice to see that Kosugi went over here. And, of course, the big thing there brings his sons who are in a bunch of his stuff. And one of his sons continues to do stuff. The other one seems to have left the business. But
was his whole family in this movie?
I think it's just him and his sons.
Oh, okay.
But his son Kane Kosugi is still doing stuff to this day.
Is he mostly doing like stunt?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because it seems like he's doing a lot of fight choreography and then some acting, but like in a lot of stuff, he's playing like soldier, whatever, or like a lot of stunt guys do.
He was really good in this, and he couldn't have been more than like 10 years old.
Yeah, exactly. This is he's 11 when this came out, so probably 10. Yeah, when he shot it. No, he's great. I mean, it almost seems like if you are the son of Sho Kosugi, you will learn karate.
For sure. You will be in martial arts films for the foreseeable future. I see he's Kazuya in Tekken 2.
Yes.
That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, he does do some acting here and there, and Sho Kosugi is mostly retired from acting, although did come out of retirement a handful of years ago for a movie I'm pretty sure you and I saw in the theater together, Lisman, which was Ninja Assassin.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Oh, that movie is nuts. That was a rare Hollywood big budget attempt to make a ninja movie in like the 2000s.
That one really bummed me out because I wanted like a straightforward ninja movie, and they had like magic stuff happening where they would turn into like shadows and disappear, and I was like, come on.
Yeah.
I get that it's sort of maybe like figurative and not literal, but
yeah,
I just wanted, and that's actually one of the things I really love about this movie is that it does put an emphasis on stealth a bit and like disappearing and things like that, whereas a lot of times they'll just put ninja in the title and it'll just be a dude in a ninja suit.
No, it's the whole thing.
Hey, I'm here.
It's the whole thing about becoming shadow, right? But not in the magic sense. In the it's the skill set. Let's talk. The first 15 to 20 minutes of this movie, I had no idea what the hell was happening.
It was very Mortal Kombat 2021, wasn't it?
It was.
Very much so. Right, because first off, we got to get this amazing 80s opening title sequence, right, with Sho Kosugi doing ninja poses and moves to this very ill-fitting but yet I came to love song.
Let me tell you, absolute banger of a song. Back to the Shadows.
Back to
absolute
the Shadows.
Banger.
Yes, I agree. It was one of those things.
This is up there with You're the Best Around. This is up there with Eye of the Tiger. This is a fitting like this movie has its own like Bond theme song. It's incredible.
I immediately thought that when the Pray for Death title comes out of that kind of like warping color, I did think, holy shit, this is kind of a Bond opening. Yeah, and what I like though is it's short. It's just like whatever production company presents Shokasugi and Pray for Death, and then you're like, and now the movie starts. Oh wow, we aren't going to do the full opening title. We'll save those for the end with the third or fourth reprise of this song, because I like that. And they stick to this song as the only song through the movie.
Yeah, and I do like also that they open with him and his son doing a bunch of like. I don't know if it's kata or like some kind of martial arts demonstration stuff. Yeah. And it's like right off the bat, you're going, okay, all right. Like there's going to be martial arts in this movie, like,
I mean, and then I love, it ends up being this TV show the kids are watching, but still I did think, all right, man, this is action shelf grade A material when we just open right with the ninja shit. We're not bearing the lead on this thing. We are throwing shurikens. We've got blowguns. We're slicing dudes up with swords. I'm like, great, here we go. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who anyone is, but you're giving me the goods right from the start.
And honestly, the action in this sequence, the action in this movie gets better from this point. Like this intro is pretty fun, but like I think the action actually does get better as the movie progresses, which I think is a positive for this film.
Can I ask though, what the hell does this have to do with anything? This Black Ninja show? Like this idea that the kids, his two sons in Japan, are watching this show, The Black Ninja, going like, aren't ninjas cool? And hey, that ninja kind of looks like Dad, who obviously is not a ninja. Totally, he's a boring businessman.
Total normal dude, yeah.
I love that kind of secret identity aspect of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was actually really fun.
Yeah,
I love that part of it. The Black Ninja show, though, is kind of what threw me. And I love that they're like, Mom, Black Ninja's on.
I think they needed to give the kids a bit of a through line in a way, like if they were going to be in it. And I think also it gives them a reason to be in a karate class so that like later Kane Kasugi can kick some ass at a convenience store. You know what I mean? Like that, because I think without that to anchor them, you just go like, oh, there are kids who take karate, but their dad is a secret ninja. Like, so you know, you can kind of rationalize it as like, oh, they love this show and they want to, like every little kid back then, they want to be ninjas, so their parents put them in karate class.
Right.
Because they don't know that he's a martial artist, let alone a ninja.
No, he is,
which is very strange.
It's very Clark Kent, right? Like, I am just a boring man in a suit. In fact, they do the fun thing where they flip him over and and they're like, Dad, you should learn karate sometime. He's like, maybe I will, son. But no, I was instantly charmed. But although this whole idea of we're in Japan, Sho Kosugi is a Japanese man married to an American woman, right? But the kids have American accents despite being raised in Japan.
Living in Japan. I mean, it's classic 80s.
Yeah, it's just you're just like, it is what it is.
My cousin is married to he moved to Thailand and married a Thai woman, and they have a son, and their son speaks English with an American accent because my cousin is like, stays at home and raises him a lot of the time. So I think it's kind of like you pick up whatever your parent does,
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah, actually, you know what? A more one-to-one comparison. A good friend of mine, he was born in Japan and moved here, I think, in like middle school. His father was American and his mom was Japanese, and he spoke English in the household there and is bilingual. So, I think that part's is pretty plausible, more or less.
They at least provide an excuse as to why all of the protagonists are speaking English. Like there's a reason why, and it makes sense, as opposed to they're Japanese but they're speaking English. Who cares?
And I gotta say, I thought Sho Kosugi is pretty good in this. Because we've seen martial artists, particularly where English is not their first language, and acting, goes back and forth with a lot of these guys who come over and take the big leads in American stuff. But I thought Kosugi did pretty well. I also think the script does him a lot of favors of not giving him a ton of dialogue, which also fits the ninja aesthetic. Because I will say, one of the things we normally track on the show are one-liners, and this movie doesn't really have traditional action movie one-liners. Nor would I once again, is not really befitting of the ninja subgenre. They're sort of the silent assassins. I don't want Sho Kosugi zinging guys after he kills them.
Yeah, they're not glib with their violence.
No,
you know?
no.
It must be done. You know?
I take no joy
not
in
that
this.
they want.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's a tenet of the reluctant hero, right? It's like
Mhm.
they don't have jokes on board.
right.
They don't, zinger in the chamber ready to go. you know?
Right. Yeah. Which is always, when you start extrapolating to reality, incredibly disturbing, you know?
Oh yes.
When
Oh,
Clint
yeah,
Eastwood
definitely.
zings a guy after blowing him away in a Dirty Harry movie, you're like, yikes.
That was a
Yeah.
human being you killed.
Whatever, man. Don't give a fuck.
Sociopath.
Yeah. So they and I do like the setup of the karate class, and we see one kid, one of the sons is better than the other one, which will continue throughout the movie. Is the idea that one of them has brains and one of them has fighting skills? Is that kind of the thing?
Well, I didn't really get that from the younger one being smarter.
Because wait, which one is the one who's good at karate also the engineer?
Yeah.
Oh, then
Yeah,
never
the-
mind. I have no idea.
The
what
younger
the other
one doesn't
offers.
really do much. He just kind of,
He's
there
just-
to be.
Well,
Yeah.
he gets hit
They
by a
get
truck.
kidnapped and run over by a car.
Yeah, he gets kidnapped, hit by a car, and then he's got the bandage on his head, and he's in bed for the rest of them. It is sort of like, well, one of these kids has really got some skills, and we're gonna spotlight
Right.
him. And the other one, hey, you're in it too. All right.
The other one retired from
Yeah.
action movies. So,
Yeah. But so the his wife wants to move back to America, and this is classic, like, just the vagaries of action movies. Yet he seems to be incredibly successful in Japan. Like, this seems like a bad call for the family to move to America.
There is a line where he tells her that he was promised a promotion, and she's like, "That's great." And he's like, "In 3 years, when the boss retires."
Oh.
So I think they were kind of trying to set up like he's sort of under this glass ceiling,
Okay.
and maybe it's time for them to try something different.
And I mean, that's as much as they get into about the generic business he's doing. So
Yeah.
it's also why I don't like, it's not really a flaw of the movie, because I'm going like, I don't
Mhm.
really understand what he does anyway, but it seems like he's doing well.
It seemed like they opened up a restaurant. Is that correct? Or at least the space was a restaurant.
Yeah, there's only like one scene with them actually operating the restaurant, though, where they frame their
And
first
you don't
dollar.
see. Yeah, they frame their first dollar very quickly.
I was gonna say she like puts it's like a cooking show, right? Goes under the counter, comes back up, it's framed.
Luckily, I'd already framed $1 ceremonially for this, so let me just put this
Yeah.
on the wall here. And then he's got it on the wall instantly. It happens very... I love... One of the things I love in revenge movies, and we've talked about a lot on this show, but are the idyllic family moments where you're like, nope, this is going to get ruined.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the violence to
Yeah.
come.
Mhm.
And so yeah, they are running, I guess, a Japanese restaurant, but like we've said, it really doesn't really play into the movie much. We don't get much of a sense of them running the restaurant.
No food is cooked.
Nope.
There's an exchange of some kind of goods for $1.79 or whatever, and then that dollar.
that's
gets
not
framed.
clear.
There's
Yeah.
no idea what they gave that woman at all.
So-
She's just like, thank you
At
for
this
the
point,
thing.
they have little to no profits, and they went straight on the wall.
And they've
Yeah.
rented this space from this very sad old man who's recently lost his wife. Tragic Mr. Green, isn't that? I believe that's his name.
Yeah, Sam Green.
Sam Green, and he's just ever since Margie died or whatever her name was, oh my God, this guy. By the way, the guy who plays Sam Green, his name is Parley Bear.
What
Yes.
a great name.
That is an amazing name, and he is one of those guys who, watching this, I went, I've seen him in something, right? And then looking him up, it's like, oh, I've seen him in everything.
A million things.
He's been
yeah.
on
So-
every TV show.
We'll get to this obviously, but it's just very funny to think that sweet old man who's crying about his wife also has a warehouse full of naked mannequins that are like hanging from the ceiling.
Was
What? Yeah, what? That came out of
very
nowhere.
weird.
He goes,
This is why I wanted a sequel, so we really dig into
Yeah.
his dark history.
you want a
know.
prequel, is what you want, Lisbon, about the origins of Sam Green.
A prequel,
yeah, 'cause-
perhaps, or like, because I imagine the sequel to this movie would be him training his sons to like carry up the mantle
Yeah, and then they
Um,
can spin off.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
also someone needs to revenge old Sam Green because
That's true.
he was quite unceremoniously disposed of.
And he was very, very nice to them. To the
Before
family.
we go to America, though, we have to talk about the insane insertion of this entire ninja backstory that makes me go,
Yeah.
is this a sequel to a movie I didn't see?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this whole sequence took me a second to be like, oh, wait, some of this is a flashback. Because the movie
Yes.
does very little visually to tell you it's a flashback.
Right.
It's great. It's great ninja fighting. But I had to back it up and go, okay, all right, now I understand. Because he
It's
goes...
also-
go ahead, Lisman.
It's also strange because it doesn't come up again in the movie.
That's...
Like, the backstory never doesn't
Weren't
not
you
actually
kind of
apply
waiting
to-
for the brother to be alive or something like that? And
Yes.
maybe that's what the
Yes.
sequel would have been.
That's exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking when I was watching this movie. It's kind of a shame though. Like that would have
Well,
been a
because
great
you never
reveal
do
at the end
get
of the movie.
the ninja versus ninja, aside from this sequence, but it never comes into the
Right.
main plot. It's ninja versus gangsters, and one extremely well-equipped
Yeah,
gangster.
Limehouse he's a ninja, bro.
Yeah, he's sneaking up
I just
on
don't wear the
shows.
fucking costume. That's the only thing that makes me. Other than that, I'm a ninja, basically.
I mean, in the hospital, he took out that doctor and took his
Mhm.
outfit. Like that's a very
He did,
ninja type
yeah.
of. They wore disguises. They weren't just
Mhm.
their black outfits
I love
that we
that
know
move.
from Hollywood. And
I love that move too when he double hits the cops, like whoosh. I love it. But yeah, we get this whole thing about his brother, their surrogate father. All of a sudden, it's getting very like. I mean, this is very classic ninja stuff, but I'm going, oh, he's got like a Snake Eyes Storm Shadow relationship with somebody. This is a lot of information that it doesn't really come back, but it's cool.
so we get he's it's like before they decide to move to America, he goes to, and he's like, oh, the boys love this ninja stuff. I don't know if it's good for them. Then he's in his temple,
Yeah.
right, where he's training, and then it goes into a flashback of him fighting another ninja, and they are doing tons of flips. Tons
I
of
mean,
flips.
There's so many flips
This-
in this movie.
this
Just
movie-
vaulting and yeah, I mean, we're
45%
talking
flips.
yes, and very aggressively, by the way, aggressive flipping. And you at one point, I mean, you just clearly see this white guy with like shaggy hair doing the flips, and then like it comes up and it's Shokasugi like planting in the stance.
Yeah.
And he's stopping the other ninja from stealing a chest full of treasures. Like
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like a gaudy looking pirate treasure
It's just
under the like
Yeah.
temple like
and it's,
shrine.
It's just in like a
And
little chest that's just sitting there.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And I'm like, yes, the famous
We all
temple
know.
treasures that
And it-
we
We
yeah,
all
all know.
know about the
it's-
famous temple treasure.
it's very
Maybe it was
generic
some kind of like a
Yeah.
like a sacrificial or like a tribute at an altar sort of.
Sacrimonious.
it
Yeah.
would have to be. That's the only read that would make any sense of that. But I just love that when he picks it up, it looks like any prop thing of treasure you've
Yeah.
ever seen in any like even high school play. It's like
You
rubies
can
and a
practically
pearl
see
necklace.
like the mold lines on like the.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this is that one of the bigger things I think you see him take, and they don't call it out, but is like a necklace, and that same theme kind of follows him to America, right? Where these,
Right.
the bad guy plot, which
What is
we'll
it?
get into. but-
The frequently name check Van Alden necklace or whatever it is.
yeah.
I thought that was funny that it is a specific necklace that they're talking about. The Van Alden necklace.
One of my favorite things about this scene, though, is that this highly skilled and acrobatic ninja trips over his own sword scabbard and and impales himself and dies.
Yeah, I love that because they're like, well, we don't want Shokasugi to kill this guy, right? Like
Right.
it needs to be like, oh no, my brother, not
He
I
died.
have killed him.
Your brother died by the hand of his own glider, right? And so
Wait, Bernard from the old butler from Spider-Man. What are you doing here? I'm just here to explain any death in a movie.
But wouldn't it be more narratively interesting if he killed his brother, not knowing it was his
Absolutely.
brother until he was like dying in his arms?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, but also then the rest of the movie should deal with that too. I like this is just sort of thrown in as like, here's some backstory you should know about this guy, because then we do have the very classic martial arts movie master looking character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who is
I will say while it doesn't come back in any shape or form, it does inform Sho Kosugi's character,
That's
which is, I guess, serves some purpose. His character, by the way, is named, what is it? Akira. I can't remember the last name.
Akira Saito.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. I agree. It is because it's this whole idea about like this is what made him stop being a ninja. Because the master then this is the thing that's because we see the master watching all this happening in the flashback, but then the master shows up in current time. This is the thing that made this sequence very confusing to me. Is we're switching
both scenes
between...
are in the same location, so it's
harder and the camera doesn't do much to differentiate. Like this is the past, and so it took me a second to be like, okay, now because then they have a whole fight, and that's the scene where you get like you can never run from the shadows. That you
was their surrogate dad master guy present for the fight between them in the flashback, or did he just show up? That's what I was trying to remember. Like, did he watch his son die?
I think so, yeah. At least the way it's cut together, they cut to his reactions to that fight. But then also he's there when I guess he and Sho Kosugi are remembering it at the same time. And this is where this is where
it's a very
hallucination.
Yeah.
This is where the filmmaking is a little bit like, this is where the director I fault, like, you could have done something, a filter maybe, or some kind of transition, or because it's just cutting as if it's all one scene.
Yeah,
you could almost cut out the fight between the brothers, and then just have him at the temple fighting his dad. And their little, and then just cut out the dialogue where he says like, "Your brother was blah blah blah," right?
Although that the brother dying does give him the motivation to sort of. Lay down his ninja mantle for a while, and keep his sons free of the knowledge, I guess, that they are part of this lineage.
I would almost say cut out the master. Keep the brother stuff. Cut out the master almost. Although I like or at least cut out the master fight. Maybe. I mean, it's good, but it's two fights on top of each other in two different times. It's just they're so close together. That it's all fine though. A lot of my notes are just like because when he fights the brother, I go sword versus torch, then it's spear versus sword when it's the master. A lot of it is just what especially later when it's like sword versus chainsaw. Which anytime a chainsaw comes into a fight in a movie, I am on board for it all the way.
Very cinematic for sure.
We'll get there, but if you have not seen the Nicolas Cage movie Mandy, number one, it's great and super weird, but there is an actual chainsaw duel in that movie that rules.
Excellent.
So when they go, because all this whole time that when they're first in America, it's all just scenes of Sho Kosugi being like, control the ninja inside, don't lash out and kill everyone.
Which I love. I love when they've got that in them and they're just choosing not to. Like when the guy bumps his shoulder and is like, "Watch where you're going, man," and he's like, "Apologies," like.
And they keep
like,
cutting to
you can kill him.
They keep cutting to him swinging the sword as the ninja, like real quick, like, "Oh, he could do it." It's like, it's like it's this visual way to show the sudden burst of violence that could come out of him. No, there is one of my favorite things in like a revenge movie is oh, we'll just beat up this guy because he's nobody. It's the John Wick thing, right? Of don't you know who that is? You don't know the skills he possesses. It's Taken. It's all of them, right? This whole idea about like, what are you talking about? That's just some old guy. Oh, no, he's the biggest badass the world has ever seen. I love
Right,
that. And this movie
exactly.
is, basically the whole beginning of the section in America is all that, where he's like, I could kill everybody if I had to.
God, just about every single American, other than the old man, is just the worst. They're
I,
just the
I
worst
was,
people.
I was gonna say, this street punk that bumps into him is totally out of a canon, like Death Wish movie. This guy walked from this scene and then got shot by Charles Bronson a few blocks down the road. Like,
I believe it.
because he's just a total, like, openly. He's the kind of criminal punk that has never existed in reality, where you're just like, that man is a criminal, just based on the way he dresses and carries himself. Immediately,
Yeah.
like it's a cartoon image of a street criminal.
Yeah.
And
he's ready to do crime at any given moment.
he bumps into shoulders and he's
problem.
immediately ready to fight Shokasugi.
Yeah.
Everybody's just primed for violence.
And shoulder checked him on purpose so that he could, But I love that Shokasugi's like, America? Like, it's so violent. Like, why would, there's so much crime there or whatever. And then, as this sort of like person in another country has this view of the states, and then they get here and that's exactly what it is.
Completely correct. Yeah.
It is nothing but urban violence when he gets here. Yeah. Then we meet kindly old Sam Green, and he's showing them this really run down building that do they live here as well? Is that the idea?
So it's a restaurant, and then the apartment is above, like in the above building.
And then there's also a secret, like,
back room,
back thing that
it was an annex that his wife used as a cigar shop. Old Margie, she loved cigars, I guess.
The specificity that stands out from cigar shop. But as we find out, there's tons of weird parts of this building, because when we get to it is just going like, oh, well, I've just put random things in rooms that would be good for action set pieces later.
Yeah.
Well, so the later part of it, they're at his warehouse at the docks.
Yes.
He had a separate.
That's right.
Mannequin warehouse.
What's the term they use for
deal was?
He's a dock rat? Is that what? There's somebody who's called that at one point in this movie.
Oh, the cops call Limehouse a dock rat, dock rat,
which I loved. You're just like, that's a first one hearing that for me. That guy's a dock rat.
Yeah, he lives on a big, like, freighter, like a big boat,
which is great.
Yeah.
Once again, there's so many things. I love these just pure unabashed action movies where it's like the bad guy will live on a big boat so that Shokasugi can infiltrate that boat later.
Which is my favorite scene in the movie, by the way.
I think
that,
that's the best,
because that is the most like pure ninja. He's sneaking around, grabbing dudes, killing when he assaults the mansion at the end, he's not really being stealth. He's just slaughtering. But that is the most, like, sneaking around, ninja in the shadows kind of sequence.
Yeah, he's a bit more controlled at that point.
There's a point where he's like right up on Limehouse with a knife to him, and then like disappears, and Limehouse turns and he's gone. And then literally a second later, you see him through the porthole window outside. So it's like he went from like right next to him to outside looking in the window within like literally a half a second's time.
That's the stuff I want. I mean, that's what I'm paying to see if I'm watching a ninja movie, But coincidentally, gangsters are also using this old cigar shop to
that's
put
that's
goods
what I'm
in.
curious about. Is it coincidentally, or is Sam Green have some dark secrets that he has not revealed to this family?
Well, first off, he's got this annex padlocked, right? And I love Shokasugi just casually using his ninja strength to punch open this door. That was great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And him just going, "Wow, you are strong, son." Dear God,
you must be strong as an ox.
That's it. Yeah. It's a very old man line. Anyway, we'll just write that off for the moment.
He hadn't been in there in years, and then he opens this music box and it starts playing, and he's like, gets all teary, like, Margie loved this so much, and it's like, oh wow, so you kept it fucking locked away for 15 years or whatever. Like
This seems
that
like
was
a
a
guy,
little bit of a stretch to me. Like,
Yeah.
This seems like a guy who has just completely hidden everything that reminds him of his wife, and is just like, push down the emotion, Sam. There's no sadness.
maybe all
was
those mannequins were Margie's at one time.
Margie loved making mannequins. It was her hobby. But then he says, wait a minute, there's another padlock to the door outside. I didn't put this here. I think that's meant to be like that stuff's going on without his knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, for some reason the cops decided to hide that Vanetta necklace in this disused cigar shop.
In a bag
They
of
don't-
cocaine in a disused cigar shop.
I know. Because it's
Oh, is that what it was?
why don't it's
I
a
mean,
bag of
maybe.
white powder in an 80s action movie. I assume this was all a drug deal
Oh,
until
you
they
know,
pulled
I
that
must have been,
necklace
I was
out.
folding laundry while I watched.
Yeah,
Looked
they-
away
yeah,
and
they
then
didn't
looked back.
say cocaine.
They have the
Yeah.
they have the necklace. They pull it out of a bag of white powder.
Oh, it was inside the. Oh
Yes.
wow, okay.
Yes.
And nobody did the thing where they dip a finger in the powder and then rub it on their
No,
teeth.
no, because that's the thing that got me is when they're putting this, because there's a little secret compartment in the floor, and they've got this bag of white powder, and I think, oh well, this is all a drug deal, because once again, it's a mid-'80s action movie. Of course, it's about
Makes
cocaine.
sense. Yeah.
But then it's all about this necklace, and nobody ever really talks about drugs again.
Nobody will ever look for this valuable necklace in this bag of drugs.
It was
Big bag
was,
of
I just love the idea of these two crooked cops going, what can we put this necklace in? How about this evidence bag of cocaine? No one will notice
Yeah.
that missing. These two
And
are
also,
such fucking
what was the
dummies.
purpose of just hiding it for a long time?
It was supposed to be a drop-off, apparently, I think was the idea. And
Okay.
then the guy steals it from the drop-off, so then when the gangsters come to get it, it's not there. But drugs
he-
are weird.
He drops it into this drop zone,
Mhm.
which is this back cigar room.
Yeah.
But then in the moment decides, you know what? No, I'll take it. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Well, because he puts it in, he closes it up, and then he's like, and then he opens the thing up and grabs the necklace out and pockets it, and then walks
Yes.
out. And then I guess the idea is he's putting the blame on Sho Kosugi
Sam.
or Sam Green or whoever's here. They must have.
So they
stolen
were
it.
just using that place as a drop off for years, probably.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Okay, that makes a little more sense than just like this because to me it was like this old cigar shop is specifically being used just for this necklace, and then that's it. I didn't really put together that it was like
I think
sort of a regular drop off
I think that's
spot.
the thing. It's just meant to where illegal goods are going.
Yeah,
I
because they
think
know
there's
it's
even a
not
line.
used.
I think there's even a line where it's like it's in the usual spot or something. There's
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, okay.
There's
okay.
Yeah.
There's so much tossed off info in singular lines in this movie, which I love. Like it's
Yeah.
once again, it's very 80s action where like, it's there you go. There's your answer if you want to dig for it. But
Whatever.
you're just here for ninja shit, so don't really worry about it. Like,
I also like how Sam talks about that room because the way he talks about it is that he just has never gotten to opening it up. Like he just never really got around to it. But it would be more interesting if it was what you were saying, John, where it's like he intentionally locked it off because it reminds him of his wife, but they didn't.
well, that
really
would
bother.
you're trying to make Sam more of a character, Listman. Let's be honest.
I can't help it.
It may have been though, right? Like it may have been like that's what he's telling them, but the subtext is that
That's true.
it just pains him too much to he misses her, etc. So
Mhm.
yeah, there it's funny because you don't want too much expository dialogue, but sometimes you need a little bit more, and this one was kind of right on that line of like they tell you with like a throwaway line, which if you were paying close enough attention you'll get it, but if not then you're like, wait, what
Completely lost.
what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean I will say once again, in the action shelf canon, this movie moves pretty well. This is a pretty well structured. What is this? About 95 minutes.
Something like that.
Yeah, this is pretty good for like an 80s ninja movie.
Well-paced movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
because we talk about pacing issues almost more than anything on this show.
Pacing is the worst thing about a bad movie. It
Yeah.
it has to be
Yeah.
either that or like poor sound quality. I think are the most obnoxious
And we get
hard to overcome.
a lot of both
issue.
of those on this show.
Yeah, and this movie didn't really have either of those issues, which is probably why.
Well, we always feel more comfortable in the 80s because there was at least some polish of quality
Right.
to even the B action movies of the 80s, as opposed to now, current day, low budget action. Good God, they don't give a damn at all.
at all. Yeah, it's very strange. It's probably just because it's so much easier to make movies these days, so you don't need that investment.
So yeah, they the mob boss is mad because the necklace is missing, and these two dumb crooked cops, who I love their whole like comedy duo.
Hey, we're just a couple of sleazebag crooked cops.
Right.
And
they look like cops. Like before they even say they're cops, they walk in on the scene, and I was like, "Oh, these guys are cops." Like they did a really good job with that.
You see that mustache? That's a cop mustache.
They've got the cheap suits and the mustache and the whole era about them. Like,
hey, that's right. We're just a couple of cops.
The only thing they were missing was sweat stains.
Yeah, yeah, and their ties weren't loose enough, I think.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of their outfits, though, I did want to point out that Sho Kosugi is killing the fit game in this movie. Everything that man wears is fucking clean and dope.
Yeah.
Like the sweaters he has on, and his son too. At one point, comes out in this little like thriller, like this black and white thriller jacket with all these zippers and shit. Fucking awesome. Like the scene where he goes to the boat and is like taking them all out. He's got like a leather members only jacket with the sleeves like rolled up on his forearms, and then black gloves and like black slacks.
Yeah,
absolutely killing it.
So
this was like the most stylish, you know, you have this 80s ninja movie, and usually it's like, you know, something like American Ninja where they're in like some kind of camp and there's these soldiers everywhere, or like you know, just everyone's in some kind of like karate gi or something. Like he was just like, and on top of that, like we mentioned earlier, you know, a Japanese man as the lead of a movie in the 80s, and he's not like a caricature, it's not pastiche. He's like he's a loving father who's very competent, and he's killing the fit game. It's fantastic.
He's actually the only one who is, really. I mean, and you talk about the kid, but like all the gangsters look disheveled and kind of, or they're
schlubby and stuff.
And he's always just sleek and cool no matter what he's wearing. And it's not till the end that he puts on his shredder costume.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh god, that helmet is so awesome. By the way, the sequel to this movie, is just there. It's kind of Batman, isn't it? Because they give him his Commissioner Gordon at the end, with the guy going like,
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a very like,
take this guy for example. Leaves the calling card. You know?
Taste for the theatric.
A single shuriken.
Yeah.
And hey, no more ninja shit in this town. Like it's kind of his thing, but it's also sort of like a wink. I guess we'll never know who that ninja is,
and you'll never have to. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It did. It seemed like, we'll be seeing each other again, Commissioner. And it's like, yeah, we're always on the lookout for the ninja, but also, and then there'll be a ninja signal, and then the kid is his Robin. It just becomes Batman.
It's perfect. It's perfect. This movie should have had at least 3 sequels.
Yeah,
like
man.
It should have been an epic franchise.
I know. I'm so bummed that never happened.
You know what I just put together is that Pray for Death is kind of just another way of saying Death Wish, right? Which was
a little bit, yeah.
When did Death Wish come out? Was it
Death Wish would have been like the first one would have been like mid 70s, so probably about 10.
So
but
we're
on like Death Wish 4 by this point,
right?
Yeah. But the inclusion of it as a line of dialogue sends
oh my
it over
god!
the top.
You know what I
as
just
Death
realized?
Wish.
Yeah, because he tells him, he's like, "You will pray for death," right?
Yeah, leave my
At
family
the end,
alone. Yeah.
He's literally going, "Kill me, kill me." I didn't even think about that until just now.
Didn't until you said that. Yeah, he is praying for death.
Boy, does he get a death. He sure gets quite a death.
Well, let's talk about. We're right about to the real introduction of Limehouse, which is he's the one that the mob boss sends to find the necklace, which involves first we're gonna question this old man who obviously took it.
Who, yeah, they beat the shit out of with a crowbar.
Yeah.
They find they like corner the old man's leaving town, and Chokasugi and family help load him up and everything, and he's on his way, and then they run him off the road into this, old derelict warehouse area.
That looked like it was burned down or something. It was
Yeah.
very strange.
These action movies never have a lack of abandoned warehouses, industrial factories, anything like that. We always talk about that these movies love this kind of stuff.
I love that he was on his way to Atlantic City. Such an old guy thing in the 80s, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, he's on, and I do like that he's got all of his stuff, and they're going like, well, do you think he has the necklace in there? And Limehouse just goes, who has time to look through all that shit? Let's just beat him.
I'm just gonna beat him to death. I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
I mean, because when he starts just wailing on him with the crowbar, I like that even one of the other goons is like, Jesus, boss, he's already dead.
Yeah, they're showing us that this guy is just an
Unhinged.
absolute unhinged killer. And then they douse him with gasoline and light him on fire, and the dummy of old Sam Green in this explosion is pretty legit. Like, it doesn't look like a bunch of socks inside of a an outfit. Like, it looks like a person is on that hood.
I did write down that before they burn him, after he kills him, Limehouse goes, he's safe in the arms of Jesus.
That's right.
Yikes. Listen,
just chewing the scenery.
Ibrahim, at the end of every year we do the show, we give out our awards for the movies we've watched that year, the Shelfies. I think Limehouse is current frontrunner for our best villain.
For this year, yeah, I'm struggling to remember a better villain. So
yeah,
far
Limehouse is pretty great. He really stands out. This guy is a full-on unhinged maniac, played by a way overqualified actor for it, which I think helps a lot.
Who wrote the movie,
Who
which
wrote
is
the film?
such an important thing, right? Because I don't think you get this kind of commitment from somebody who wasn't as involved, you know?
Right.
And there have been examples of movies where somebody who's playing the villain also wrote the movie. I think Cosmic Sin did this. Or no. He was the quippy best friend.
It's the other Bruce Willis one we watched that had the producer playing the villain.
That's what it was.
And he was one of the worst performances we've ever seen in anything.
Yeah,
that guy just couldn't
the
act.
risk.
I don't think it was a lack
That's
of
the
commitment.
risk you
That
run
man
into.
couldn't act.
Right. He was clearly not trained by the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yeah.
But that's the risk, is that somebody might put themselves into a part just for like a vanity project kind of a thing.
Right.
But this definitely felt like he was really giving it his all.
Well, he's actually doing what a good action movie should do, which is building up the villain as a real threat. It doesn't feel like a vanity project because Shokasugi is so well shown off in the movie. He is really presenting as like, oh fuck, this guy is super dangerous.
Yeah.
In a unhinged, no one's ever been this psychotic way, but I love it because you're just going like, how did this guy, being this psychotic, rise up to any rank in an organization?
He should have already died in a hail of gunfire years ago.
But he's like the number 2 guy.
Yeah. He should have had a Scarface death at least a decade before this movie took place.
I haven't seen the Batman yet, but he kind of looks like Colin Farrell's Penguin.
Yeah. A little bit,
bit.
He's got a little bit of that. By the way, highly recommend the Batman.
Yeah, I'm excited. I heard it's coming to streaming in a month.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
I know you haven't seen it either. It is fantastic. But just every podcast I go on, I'm like, the Batman is great. So yeah, let's talk about the kid. The fight we mentioned a little bit earlier, where the kid fights these gangsters these street hoods in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, parents, knowing that they live in this extremely violent, crime-ridden area, go, hey, young children, why don't you run down to the corner store and get us some milk?
Yeah,
just the worst parent. Sam literally said it earlier. Do not let your kids out on their own. Lock your door. It's
this
dangerous.
Oh my! I like I said, there's something which is weird that I'm gonna say this, but like growing up on these kinds of movies on VHS, there is something so nostalgic to me about the just over the top crime ridden city of these movies, like the Death Wish movies, stuff like that, where it is just on every corner an active assault is happening.
And I love the ne'er-do-wells in this, how they're like, hey, that's my bike. Yeah. And all the other ones are, yeah, no, I seen it. Yeah, that's his bike. Like, it felt very natural. You know? Like I was surprised at the level of like believability of that part.
That is rare in
improvised.
these movies. Yeah. It may have been, because that is pretty rare. Usually these are the most cartoonish depictions of street punks and trash. But
and you know when you're beating up a bunch of street toughs and then you're like, oh shit, my brother got kidnapped. That's what happens to young Takeshi in this scene.
Yeah.
Where
you hate to see it though. But it
no,
happens.
I love the way Limehouse, like this fight is happening, everybody's watching. Limehouse just kind of walks up, doesn't draw a lot of attention, and he's just like, and grabbing this kid.
Yeah.
Yoink.
Like Homer into the bushes.
Yeah, exactly.
He just is like, and I got the kid, and let's go. So because this is kind of what instigates the whole thing, really, is the old man didn't have the necklace, therefore this Japanese family must have the necklace. So
it's definitely not the crooked cops.
No, those guys totally on the level.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, they question it too. They're just like, it could be the crooked cops. But they're just like, let's just
not
harass
start
his
there
family
though.
anyways.
That's
any amount of due diligence from these gangsters would have yielded the fact that this family literally framed a dollar bill.
Yep.
They don't have a several $1 million necklace in their possession.
No.
You know?
That's it exactly. And the other thing that I just kept thinking is like, it's really all Limehouse's fault, because like Shokasugi really is willing to let so much go.
Yes.
Like there are so many times he should have killed everybody. Really, just the kidnapping the son should have set him off. But he really is trying not to murder people.
Right, doing his best, yeah.
But he just keeps escalating it. Limehouse for no reason.
I mean, it's because he's so unhinged.
Right,
it's because he's looking for an excuse to inflict.
And that is why you don't have a guy like this in your criminal organization.
Exactly.
He's going to get everyone
One of the
killed.
people you beat up is bound to be a ninja.
It's just going to happen.
It's just
time and time. I mean, is there any criminal organization in reality that wasn't eventually brought down this way?
Especially in the 80s, like eventually you're gonna throw a rock and hit a ninja.
I mean, that's one out of 10 people were ninjas in the 80s, right? I mean, isn't that just thing in general? You just never knew. So they kidnap the son, and they call and they're like, if you want to see him again, bring that necklace to the docks.
Yeah, to Pier 49 or whatever.
Because, as aforementioned, Limehouse is a dock rat.
Right.
Dock rat.
And so this is one of like 3 scenes where the wife goes, please call the police, and Shokasugi's like, no, I will handle this.
I mean, obviously we know that it wouldn't have gone well because
he doesn't know about the crooked cops.
Exactly.
It would have been nice to have maybe seen a scene with a cop harassing him or something like that.
Right, to give him a reason to distrust the police.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like I mean, you don't have to in a 2022 movie. Because now somebody goes, don't call the cops. I'm like, yeah, good call. But in this, though, it just seems like it's just like, I'm a ninja, I'll handle it. But also not going to go full ninja, though.
Right, yeah.
They haven't quite warranted his full ninja response at this point.
Yeah. Kidnapping his son is not enough of a motivator.
Right.
I know, I would argue
there'll be way more.
If he had flipped out here and killed everybody, I would have gotten it, though. Just kidnapping the son felt like enough for me. But, you know, he's really like, no, I'm working on myself. I'm trying to be a better person. I told my wife.
John,
yeah.
This isn't the child who's the martial artist. So how much value
That's
is this
true.
kid really bringing to the family? Just saying.
He's neither engineer nor ninja.
Yeah, they're only making like $1.79 in a given day. Like, that's one less mouth to feed.
For all we know,
Exactly.
based on this movie, that's the only customer they ever get the whole time. They're at this restaurant. Didn't seem like they were ever doing booming business. Yeah, so he comes to see him, and they immediately, Shokasugi, they immediately chain him up with handcuffs. And I'm going like, oh, there's an opportunity for him to escape from that. Let's do as many things as we can to see Shokasugi escape. I like it.
So this leads to Limehouse kind of torturing him, and like, I'm gonna have fun with this guy, like, because he doesn't respond to the cut they give him on his chest. And I gotta say, that looked extremely realistic when they run that knife across his chest. I couldn't see the the prosthetic blending point or anything. I was like, damn, it looks like they really just cut this man.
My guess is it's a knife that's pouring blood out of the blade as opposed to a prosthetic. I think that's what would create that line across. Because they do some of that with like throat slits and stuff too. It did look good. It reminded me of the first Rambo movie when you cut back to John Rambo being tortured and they're slicing his chest like that, and you're like, Jesus. But then we're going to take things up a notch, and I'm going to use this blowtorch to torture your son in front of you.
Yeah.
Fuck. He's going
and
nuclear.
That's when he stops.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's when he stops playing games, and he just like disappears out of the handcuffs. Yeah.
I love so he disappeared. They're like, what? He's out of those handcuffs. And they turn around. What? The kid's gone too.
Yeah. And then they cut to him running with the kid on, like, giving him a piggyback, running out of there as the guys are shooting at them. And I'm like, damn, that kid is going to get hit first if he's on, the back of him or whatever.
He's
but
wearing the kid as a Kevlar vest now.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah. But of course, they're 80s movie action henchmen. They can't hit shit.
Right.
Yeah, they're firing. And this is where you go, maybe let it go at this point. No.
Right.
No. It's time to raise the stakes way more, thanks Limehouse. But this is where
if
he
there was
does...
like an ego thing, if there's an ego aspect to it, that would make sense. The script doesn't really get into that, but
no,
maybe,
the motivation for Limehouse is that he's a psycho. Like, that's the movie just, and I'm willing to go with that. Like, they're just like, this guy's fucking crazy, and you're like, okay, sure,
yeah.
So does he? He goes back to the ship though, right? Like,
well, his next movie is he goes to he does go to the cops at this point and says. Joe goes to the cops and says, that's the guy who kidnapped my son. Here's the photo, because they're showing him all the known gangsters, and this is where Commissioner Gordon or whatever whoever the singular good cop in this corrupt station is like, boy, you just hit the jackpot. This is where we that's Limehouse Willie, the dock rat.
Right.
I've been trying to bust him for years.
But then, because Shokasugi goes to the boat again after this, when they're having like the belly dancing party on the boat.
That's after they run over his wife and is that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because the crooked cops, of course, Commissioner Gordon is not a great Commissioner Gordon, because he's like, here, these two detectives will take your statement, and it's like, yeah, we're the two guys who obviously work for the mob.
And at that point, he hands the detective like the lineup sheet, and Shokasugi notes, he's like, "Oh, you're left-handed," and the guy's like, "Yeah, is that a problem?" And he's like, "No."
Because
I didn't really get the connection there. Like, did he surmise that whoever had been? Because at one point we see him in the old cigar annex, and he finds a thread, and is like, "Oh." And then
Sam had said that the person who was in there and took the necklace was left-handed.
Sam said it.
Yeah.
How did Sam know?
When did Sam say that?
I don't have that answer. I just have that Sam said that line of dialogue, that apparently Sam had seen the person who took it or something. and said he was left-handed.
They didn't show
Then
him see it,
they
though.
do the thread thing, and those are the two pieces of evidence, I guess. No, how Sam knows that the guy who stole the necklace was left-handed is not answered by the movie.
I didn't realize that Sam knew anyone had even taken the necklace, like, because he didn't know about the existence of a necklace.
He says
right?
the only thing he knows is whoever it was, the guy was left-handed.
Right. Okay.
It's another tossed off single line of dialogue that the movie is going, please pray for death. You gotta remember every word anyone says in this thing.
Yeah, you got to pay very careful attention. It's
Yeah.
very meticulous. Yeah.
That is unusual for these movies.
Yeah.
But his identifying them to the cops means it's time to run down his family with a truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Which-
go
Go ahead, Michael.
I was just gonna say, and this is so the kid gets kidnapped in this first sequence, and then now the kid is also responsible for getting run over by a car, as well as the wife. This child gets this family into so much trouble, like unnecessarily, because I believe this is where he kicks the ball out the window. Is that what this sequence is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes out into the street to get it, and then
Yeah, and
the
the-
car
and then-
runs him over.
Yeah.
Now,
with the wife, yeah.
yeah, when they cut away after the collision, I don't know if you guys caught this, but the man, the dummies in the street, the little boy was beheaded. Like the kid, the head is like
catch that.
in a different, and I was like, oh my god. And then it cuts back to him, and they run up to him, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's whole. And I'm like, "Wow, they really just." And it wasn't a scene where like you see the bodies flying, and then so it's not like they just like, well, that was a good shot, and we only can do that once, so we got to leave it in. It was a static image of the mom and the boy lying in the street after being hit, and the head is just literally like 6 feet away from the body.
Oh, I did not catch that. That is, Ibrahim, I love that you're clocking all the dummy acting in this movie. That is great.
I gotta do it. Wigs and dummies. That's
Wigs
what I
and
know.
dummies, man.
Yeah.
And those are usually a plenty on any action shelf movie. Both of those.
Yeah, it reminds me of the scene on Deadly Ground, I think it was, where Steven Seagal like is running away from an explosion, and what's supposed to be him is clearly a dummy being flung, and like limbs are going everywhere. Yeah, that's the level that this movie's on.
Yeah, so I like they run down the wife, and then they go, all right, let's get in another car, drive back, and see if they're dead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Sho Kosugi immediately clocks these guys because they look suspicious as hell.
They look so suspicious. They're not even trying to pretend. Like they're just, what's going on?
I do love this
there's
moment.
no level of concern to their face. It's
They're
just
like,
like,
no.
They're just like,
Yeah.
let me peer around. Are they dead? I can't tell. But I do like that they're loading the wife and son in the ambulance. Sho Kosugi's like, yeah, I'll meet you at the hospital. I gotta do something real quick.
Gotta take
hops
care of
into his little Honda Accord.
Speeds
And
after
chases
these
him
guys.
down.
And this is the first and not the last time we're going to see him leap into the back of a truck and this is so great when he grabs the guy through the truck into the bed of it and they start fighting back there.
And the guy driving at no point thinks, let me slam on the brakes. Let me do something to toss this guy out of the truck.
This car
He just keeps driving like, can you believe these two are fighting back?
This is crazy, man. But I still got to get back home. So,
Yeah.
and then of course he knocks that guy up and flips out of the truck. Another flip. It flips off of the truck just as it collides into two other cars, and they all explode in a giant fireball.
I think what made me laugh out loud. It was so
incredible.
good.
Yeah, it's literally a fender bender. It's like you would need like a new bumper and like maybe a grill on that truck, and 3 vehicles, including that truck, just are engulfed in an explosion.
Because there's 2 cars parked on the side of the road, and the truck runs into one of them, and I'm assuming the momentum of it running into that parked car, running into the next parked car, also makes that one explode.
Right.
I think is what this movie's trying
What
to tell
they
us.
didn't say is that one of these cars had a trunk full of nitroglycerin.
No, that it was implied. I think.
I mean,
It was subtextual.
this is canon level, because what were we watching the other week, Listman? Murphy's Law with Charles Bronson, which is a canon movie, where Charles Bronson shot at a car enough with his .38 revolver that the car just exploded.
Yep.
Like that was video game logic. He just shot the car enough for it to blow up.
Full on video game logic. Yeah, definitely.
That was great. So these guys are taken care of. Okay, yeah. Then this is where he goes to. Oh well, first we find out the wife's gonna make it, at least for a while, which I was shocked that both of these two survived, because knowing kind of what this movie was about, I was just waiting for the family to get slaughtered.
Yeah.
My memory of it was that she died in the car accident. So when she was still alive in the hospital, I was like,
she kinda,
wow, okay.
She kind of just should have, because it's so needless that they're like, no, that's not brutal enough. She really needs to get murdered later.
Yeah, why did they should have just killed her off in this scene. But I guess they wanted him to like turn to the shadows towards the end of the movie, maybe.
Well, he's pretty close to the shadows here, because once he finds out his wife's going to be okay, now he's going to the boat, which includes one of my favorite parts of this movie, when he puts himself in this giant wooden spool and rolls up to the guys.
God. That was incredible.
Loved it.
That was incredible, because, like, okay, picture you're one of these henchmen on the dock, keeping guard, and you're like, man, they're inside watching the belly dances. Everyone's having fun except me out here on the docks, you know?
Can you believe it?
And
we
then,
gotta get this duty out here? Shit.
Can I even get a sandwich or something from inside? Jesus, right? And then all of a sudden, this giant wooden cable spool comes rolling at you, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then a man springs out of it, and he's got the dopest outfit you've seen all week, and he kills you.
Yeah.
And the way they shot it, you couldn't tell. Like, you could tell that somebody was on there, but you couldn't like make out too much detail. Which
because
it was actually pretty well shot.
Yeah, the shadow, I think, from the spool, like from the the wide part of it or whatever. I mean, hats off to whoever I can't remember the writer's name, the villain guy, but
James.
That was some
Booth. Yeah, James Booth.
Yes, that was awesome.
I can say safely that I don't think I've never seen that in another.
Never seen it in 100%.
No, same here. That's going to be like if when I think back on this movie, even years from now, I will remember that. That's the thing that's going to stick with me for sure.
Yes.
Because that is new, and he takes these guys out. I did want to like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah.
I always want one guy in these movies just go, ninjas, I'm out.
Right.
That's something I always love to see in movies whenever they incorporate it, is like, not everybody's gonna fight to the death, you know.
No,
if you see like 8 of your friends get taken out in front of you,
it's
you're
one
gonna
of
be
one of the best moments in Iron Man 3, when that one guy just gives up and goes, dude, I don't even care. These things are so weird. And Iron Man's just like, yeah, get out of here. Like,
yeah.
I love that.
Once Iron Man has killed 8 guys in front of you, you're just like, fuck it. I'm not fighting Iron Man. This is not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that and then now he's infiltrating the boat, which Limehouse lives on this giant what is this, like a decommissioned cruise ship?
It's like a freighter. It looks like a cargo ship, essentially, that I think they just kind of outfitted like one of the cabins to look nice. You know?
But it's it's a big multi-deck ship. So you got Joe Kosugi going up level by level. This is like we said, this is where you get your most ninja bang for your buck here.
Yeah. This is the best boat infiltration scene in a movie, right up there with The Winter Soldier.
Yes.
I was just thinking about that.
It does have a similar vibe to that.
Yeah.
And he's just taking guys out. You get so many goons going like, "Huh, you hear something? I don't read," whack, whack, bam, bam. He's taking everybody out. And it's just cool as hell. Something I was thinking about, Lisman, watching this movie is, we haven't done a lot of ninja movies up to this point. The other thing we don't get a lot on this show is bladed combat. That was a nice thing.
True.
We do a lot of movies with hand-to-hand or guns. We don't get a lot of sword or knife or, shuriken or anything.
Pretty rare, yeah.
You guys are more the ninja guys. I want to talk about a weapon that shows up later in the movie, which is this thing it's a bunch of spikes that make like a circle. I don't.
Yeah, it's
there
not a
must-
real thing.
Yeah, no.
It
I was gonna
doesn't
say-
look like a real thing.
No,
Yeah.
because I'm just going like, is there a name for this? I've never. Once again, I am a mild. I mean, I'm a ninja fan, but like, if it's not a Ninja Turtles weapon, I'm not sure I know what it is.
Well, so a shuriken is really any bladed throwing weapon. Doesn't have to
Okay.
be like a star. It can be
Yeah.
the knives, etc. And that was like kind of like it looked like a Christmas decoration that you put at the top of the tree that like nobody ever wants to use because it's a real pain in the ass and the pieces collapse on each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it looked like
I think they made it
tent
just for this.
spikes.
Okay.
It looked like 10 spikes.
It's
stuck together.
Yeah.
It's real
Yeah.
nasty when it impales guys. Like I like the effect of it, but I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, and I couldn't really understand because obviously the points were sharp.
Yeah.
But was there blades along the side of it, or
It
like,
almost seems like it's like knitting needles put together.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, very strange.
and-
But it like comes out and it's like constructs itself almost.
Well,
like,
he uses it two
Yeah.
ways because he uses it as the circle to throw into the mob boss guy, but then there's also
Yeah.
a guy he throws it into, and it's just like a collection of 5 darts together in a guy's chest at one point too.
Yeah,
I'm going like, man,
Yeah,
this is
very
an all-purpose
strange.
weapon.
Yeah.
He's just like, I would have liked to see him construct that thing maybe and just go like,
that would be cool.
Just
yeah.
a montage scene of him welding
Well, we do get
knitting
the
needles
we-
together.
that would have been cool,
Yeah.
but we do get the scene of him making his sword, which I do.
Oh, yes, we
always
do.
love
That's true.
that.
Yeah.
But first, so he infiltrates this boat, gets through all these guys, and then gets the knife on Limehouse, which is here's where he says, "Leave my family alone, or I promise you will pray for death."
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, man. And then as soon as Limehouse turns around, he's already out at the window.
Yeah. So
And
good.
whatever, he nicked Limehouse enough to put him in the hospital, but of course, that's all part of Limehouse's plan.
I thought
Well, he
Limehouse
cuts
did
his
that
own
to himself,
wrist.
right? Yeah,
Mm.
like he
yeah,
was
so
like,
he nicks him on the
Now,
like,
now we're talking about a moment I looked away from the screen.
yeah,
yes. Limehouse is like, wait a minute, I've got an idea, and then takes a knife and cuts his own wrist. I'm like,
Okay, gotcha.
okay, all right.
Further at
Wow.
I like that actually. I'm sad I missed that because that is further adding to the kind of psychopath he is.
Limehouse is an agent of chaos.
He's pretty lucky he got sent to the same hospital as
Right.
Joe Kasugi's wife. That's pretty convenient.
Was this guy James Booth ever up for the Joker? Because I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure they made the right call with Nicholson now.
Well,
Yeah, they so yeah, he's of course he's in the hospital and he's like, "Oh, geez, doc, I really can't sleep. Can you give me a shot?" And the doctor's like, "Oh, sure thing." And then he forces the shot into the doctor.
yeah. Yes.
And then cut to he's wearing the doctor's lab coat and scrubs and he's wheeling something down the hall. And you're just like, man, this is the part of the movie where I start to go like, this guy is unstoppable.
Yeah.
I have to wonder, because I haven't been taken in an ambulance to a hospital. Is there a level of like identifying the person if they're conscious? Like,
Well, there's
writing down their information.
There's huge importance on identifying patients in a hospital.
right.
Like anytime I've ever been in a hospital, every single person is asking your name, checking your wristband against anything.
This one just says he's a doc rat.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I guess it's good enough.
Go ahead and put him on the dock rat floor. Another dock rat injury here.
Yeah.
Put him next to the nice lady who got run over by mysterious persons.
Well, then there are police guarding her room that this guy just goes through like nothing.
Yeah.
Well, because he lies to get into the kids later. What is he doesn't say anything to get into the wife's room, right? He just gets in, like
He
they
just
don't
he
notice.
knocks out these cops, doesn't he?
I thought he said something about time for her shot or
I
something.
thought that was for the child, but maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's all
Maybe
I
that's-
I-
yeah.
I literally saw this like earlier this morning, and I can't remember the specific details.
Because once again, the details in this movie really don't matter.
Why couldn't he just go to the hospital? Like, why couldn't he just physically go there and kill the? Like, why did he?
Or
have
why
to be
did
a
he need
patient?
to do the whole thing as a patient? He could have just gotten into the hospital, and knocked the doctor out, and taken his. I mean, like,
You know, I bet he thought of that once he was in there with a bandage on his arm. Like, ah, shit. Limehouse, you done it again. You could have just.
Hey man, Limehouse never chooses the easy way. All right,
That's
that's
true.
just
Yeah.
Limehouse. Limehouse gonna Limehouse. That's you know.
Yeah.
There's
gonna
a
do his
shirt.
thing.
We'll start producing that shirt. But yeah. So he comes through, and of course it's not enough. He's got the wife, and he's. Listen, it's just like I said, especially in the '80s, it would not be an '80s action movie without a rape scene in it, and this one is brief and mostly implied, which I appreciate. If you're gonna do it, we've seen much more graphic.
You can almost assume it doesn't happen, except for the fact that why would they show him opening up her shirt at all? Also, why does she have a button-up shirt like lying in a hospital bed? Wouldn't she have like a I don't know what those are called.
The gown.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
like, ties in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
whatever.
just for this purpose, which is we got to put boobs in an '80s movie.
Yeah. And then he just stabs her while
Okay.
she's unconscious. Great.
That might have been the difference because I don't remember boobs in that scene.
Oh, maybe we did see the Hessler
You guys
cut.
saw the.
Yes.
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
was-
because in this, he unbuttons her shirt and exposes her breasts. I think only to imply the rape. It seems like it's just like
You know what?
Yes.
I don't think the rape really happens in the non R-rated one.
I kind of wish
think
I
he
saw
because-
that.
better. I think. Yeah. I wish I saw that version.
Yeah, because when you guys were mentioning it, you know, like I said, my attention was a bit divided because I was like folding laundry. So
Yeah.
I assumed I must have just looked away, but I do remember him being on top of her, and I thought, okay, well then that's what happened. But yeah, I don't think that because
Oh,
it was
wow.
pretty quick, like the scene with the two of them. So yeah, I think maybe the
No,
PG-13 version is
so
the
in
way
this-
to
So
go.
was there? Did you still see like gore and like blood and people getting stabbed?
There's still a
and
lot
stuff?
of blood and yeah, I mean all the you know
Interesting.
shurikens to the forehead and all that shit. The
Yeah.
knives there, you know, the throat slitting was all there. So yeah,
Okay.
maybe
Because
they just
they must have just.
Oh,
removed
here's
that
the
one
okay.
scene.
Here there actually is. What are the on IMDb? If you go to the trivia or the FAQ section, somebody asked, "What are the differences between the R-rated version and the uncut version?" They said most of it is Limehouse actions.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right about that. It is that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what this is he opens up her shirt and then he also like lifts up her
Lifts up her
leg,
leg.
and then
Yeah.
it cuts to something else and it cuts back implying he's raped her,
Some-
and now he starts stabbing her.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're just like, was that necessary?
No, it wasn't.
Yikes.
Yeah, but it's just that movie of this era when we talk about that feeling like a canon movie, you know, one of their Death Wish movies where it's like it's not enough. He's got to rape the wife and then murder her. And then it cuts to him. I do like the inclusion of him cleaning up in the bathroom afterwards, though. Like he's washing the blood off his face and stuff, just going like, well, time to go back to being a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I don't think does anything because then he has to fight a bunch of cops right after this.
Yeah, because then the Commissioner Gordon puts it together. Oh, the wife, and
Mhm.
you know, because they're checking on the boy,
Right.
Mhm.
and then it turns into, you know, like Terminator 2 hospital scene.
It
where
gets
he's
it
fucking-
gets
taken out
very
people.
Terminator
Yeah.
here.
Left and
'Cause
right.
He's
Yeah.
just throwing, and I kept thinking they have guns. It's only at the very end, as he's running away, that somebody tries to shoot him.
Mhm.
Well, you can't overlook the absolute devastation of an aluminum hospital cart because he's turning this thing into a fucking battering ram. There's a point
Oh,
where
yeah.
this cop gets hit by the cart that he pushes at him, and he's like struggling to get past it, like waiting his turn to attack Limehouse again. And it was just like, oh my god, come on, guys! Like
I love. a stunt
Made
guy
out of
trying to sell
aluminum.
something like that. Yeah.
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 That's one of those things in these kind of movies where you get a little frustrated because you're like, did the people who made this not think that we understand that these everyday items are what they are? You know, like
Yeah, it doesn't. That you don't really feel that viscerally when that thing is trapping a guy. I can't. He's got me.
Nobody on set was like, this doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
right.
We're
Well,
like, good enough.
I missed this day in academy where they threw carts at us. You know.
Listen, didn't you take a cart getting hit by cart class when you were doing your acting?
Oh yeah, for stage combat, there's
Yeah.
a specific day for medical gurneys and wireframe carts.
I love
very
that
lethal.
it's all just different things. All right, now here's what happens if a gurney comes at you. Here's what happens if a box of medical supplies hits you. Here's what happens if it's a wooden crate. Great. Yeah, you got to
it's
be
very
ready for
thorough.
anything as an actor.
Yeah.
So Shokasugi demands to see his wife, and the Commissioner Gordon guy's like, "It's pretty bad. I don't think you want to see it." And he's like, "I want to see my wife." And this is the moment when he swears vengeance, and we get
A ninja.
as a ninja, but I love when a cop just very weakly goes, "Hey, don't take the law into your own hands, please." and Kasugi's just like,
his son.
yeah.
His son hears him, like he sneaks in, and he hears his dad say, "As a ninja, I will, whatever."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh,
This is why I wish there was an element of like him at least starting to introduce his son to like his ninja backstory a little bit. Like if that relationship was a little bit more prominent.
yeah."
in
Like
movie, that
if
would
the
be
son
interesting.
suspected it, and then this confirmed
Do-
it.
yeah, do
but there was
more-
literally nothing, and then he's like, "Wait."
Yeah, do more with the secret identity aspect of it. I think would be fun. It's sort of like it's there until it's not, and then it's just like he's a ninja. Oh, he's a ninja, and we're going. It's like I said, I do enjoy the pacing of the movie, but there is some more fun you could have with some of these character dynamics. I do like
Just
that
having like character beats, like moments for characters to react to to events happening in the movie that helps flush out. the
people do just sort of
characters.
roll along with events that occur in the movie. I do think that is
Yeah.
true. But I do like that the cop also Shokasugi says to the cop when he says, "Don't take the law in your hand." Shokasugi just goes, "Keep out of my way," and the cop base just goes like, "Yeah, okay,
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
all right, sure."
Yeah,
I got nothing.
there was I don't know if it was that scene or there was some scene where the cop tries to say something, and Shokasugi just says like, "Don't say anything."
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
That was this, yeah.
maybe that was it. Yeah, and his line delivery was so good.
It was.
Mhm.
I was just like, man, this guy is like, he's actually a pretty dope actor and not just like
I know.
martial arts guy.
I wish he'd done more movies. If you look, he really only made a handful, and that's a bummer, I think. But I just love the idea of a cop going like, "Well, shit, I've been bested. All right, never mind. I don't know. We'll have to see what he's up to now."
But also, the cop has no reason to think that he is
A ninja or anything, yeah.
anything other than just like a
Which-
foreigner whose wife just died.
Which, if anything, would for me as the Commissioner Gordon character go, I really need to stop this guy because he's gonna get himself killed more than I'm worried he's gonna massacre the underworld.
It implies that the commissioner character is just like, we'll let him deal with this. Maybe he'll solve it. I don't know.
Honestly,
Let's see where he's going with
my
this.
entire life, my experience with police has been them telling you what their job is not to do.
It's true.
Like
It's
whenever you need them for anything, well, we can't do this, we can't do that, we don't do this, we don't do that. So, I'm like, yeah, that plays.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
You know?
no, that's fair.
if anything, he's like,
Yeah.
maybe he'll crack it, and then we can just kind of, all right, sure.
He does things we could never do as police.
Once
He's a
again,
ninja.
It's just getting to, man, I want just this ninja Batman structure,
Batman,
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. He swears vengeance, which is gonna mean he gets ready to do his ninja stuff. Meanwhile, Limehouse is just on a fucking killing spree because we get this scene where he goes into this restaurant with a machine gun. Who is
Who
killing
does
here?
who does he shoot? I can't remember.
He shoots the crooked cop with the mustache.
He
who
shoots
stole the
one
necklace.
of the crooked cops because the other one is
And
there
then
later.
he shoots the guy who the crooked cop was selling the necklace to. And then
That's right.
also everybody else in the
restaurant, yeah.
And then he takes it back to the mob boss, the head guy, and is like, "I got the necklace. The cop had it."
Yeah. Done and
And
done.
it's like,
guess-
Oh, literally
Yeah,
it was Oh, you mean it was our first thought? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Guess we probably should have followed up on that.
Maybe
huh?
shouldn't have
now
tortured
you-
that Japanese family then.
Yeah, and now you've killed a woman, a doctor, 3 to 4 police officers, and a restaurant full of people.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
At a certain point, you're just drawing attention to the criminal.
Well, I will say,
Right.
one thing the cops would, I feel like once he kills some of these cops, it seems like it would be open season on this guy because that is definitely something they do. But even the cops are like, well, let's see where, let's just, all right, we're gonna let it slide on these 3 cop murders, and then kind of, but yeah, and also. The fucking massacre of this restaurant, because you got to see how evil he is. Not only does he shoot all the people in the restaurant, and then there's a woman carrying. He goes, "Hey, come here, honey. I won't hurt you," and then he blows her away. You're like,
I thought he was gonna have some kind of line after he shot her.
no,
And it's like, "I'm not gonna hurt you," and then shoots her.
he
I'm
does
just gonna
spit.
kill you.
He
Something
does
like that, yeah.
spit on the body of the crooked cop, thereby leaving his DNA on the scene too, which is good.
Yeah, makes sense.
You've been limehoused. I don't think they had. They didn't really have the genetic forensic.
Yeah, 80.
Capabilities
I
back
don't
then,
remember
right?
when that became.
It would have been early days, and they probably didn't have a big sample pool to compare stuff
Right.
to. So yeah, that is true. So he's just, once again, he's just limehousing.
Yeah.
So then we get Shokasugi readying for battle, which does include making his own sword, which is always
And-
cool.
Anytime someone forges a blade, I'm like, you got me. Like in Rambo, the 2006 one, when he turns the propeller blade into his knife.
Yeah.
Incredible. This is also the most notable return of the theme song.
Yes.
Because they
to
kind
the
of use it as a score the way
shadows.
you hear in like a Bond movie when they
Yes.
take the main song and they will, kind of orchestra it up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like the full-on opening song, the vocals and everything.
Well, this is the
and
best.
he has made
use
a
of it.
makeshift temple inside the old warehouse.
This is the best use of it because it is him going back to the shadows, literally. And
Right.
it's I'm like, yeah, now I get the song. At the beginning, I thought, well, this is kind of an interesting, like, there's an 80s pop song, but here I'm going like, oh, now I'm with you, movie. I liked the song before, but now its connection to the movie is clear, and I'm in, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
good. There's about 30 minutes left. And I'm going, well, this will be all ninja killing, which it basically is. The third act of this movie is just a massacre, essentially.
It's great. It's good stuff.
It is very good. And yeah, this is also where you get the first we get the son doing some ninjaing though. Before we get to Chokasugi, we get his son who's got, talk about it getting to Batman. He's got his motorcycle with the smoke screen coming out of it, and
This sequence tonally was very strange because the wife had just been raped and murdered, and now the kid is using like Home Alone style like traps and weapons on his bike to take out gangsters.
well,
I
I think
it is very
the
strange.
first thing we get is a nut shot, right? Like,
Yep.
You know what's interesting? This movie predates both Home Alone and Three Ninjas.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
it
It was
it's
giving
kind
me
of
some
doing a
Three
similar.
Ninjas energy to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Which
the
we've
kid
oft promised as a future episode to do Three Ninjas at some point on here, because that was I know,
boy.
yeah, I know. Listman and you and I were both big fans of that as kids, but I don't think if revisited it
yes.
as adults.
Oh, I would love to return for that one.
Dude, you're in, man.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
definitely.
do a whole ninja month, I think, on the show next year, maybe,
Okay.
or something like that. So
Yeah, that
You know
sounds
what?
right,
you know what? Have you guys ever seen the movie The Hunted from 1995 with John Lone and Christopher Lambert?
Absolutely, Ibrahim. You and I have talked about The Hunted a few times because
That's
movie,
right. That's right. We have.
And
yeah.
that was one I was thinking about bringing you back on for, actually, to do The Hunted.
I've 100%.
That
that's
movie,
the best ninja movie ever made.
I remember that was like a random cable viewing where I didn't even know what it was, and I was just like, oh my god, Lisman, have you seen The Hunted? Oh, you'll love it, man. Not. It's Christopher Lambert hunted by a ninja cult.
Great.
He witnesses the murder of the very beautiful Joan Chen, and she basically, he's a businessman in Tokyo on business, and he meets her at the hotel bar. They have a night together. It's magical. He's like, "Can I see you again?" She's like, "No, sorry." And he's like, "Oh, damn." He accidentally leaves her room with his key, or leaves her room with her key.
Yeah.
He goes back and there are ninjas in her room, like, there to kill her. And you find out she was a prostitute who was trying to leave her pimp, and so he hired these assassins to have her killed. And before they kill her, she says to the ninja, like, "Let me see your face." And he's like, "No one's ever seen my face." And she's like, "You're going to kill me. What does it matter? I just want to see the face of the man who's killing me." And Christopher Lambert comes into the room because he hears something and happens to see the guy's face. And so now they're after him because no one sees this man's face and lives.
Yeah, man.
And it's just an incredible movie.
By the way, I was just putting together the next year's Ninja Month. That is on the list, so I will slot you in for that because I am excited to talk about that movie. Yeah, listen, you'll love it. It's it's so wild. It's one of those things.
First, I thought you were talking about the Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, the Benicio del Toro, The Hunted, which is also that's pretty good, but it's not ninja good.
It's not a ninja movie. No.
So let's get we have the kid doing, and the kid's nunchucking. When the kid busted out some nunchucks, I was like, oh yeah, now we're talking.
Full on taking out these gangsters. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, they're down for the count. Yeah.
With the Bruce Lee nunchuck sound effect too. You know,
you have to. You have to use that. It's inherent.
It's required.
Yeah. That's in the nunchucks contract if you put it in a movie. What is the thing? Isn't it in England they don't allow any movie that shows nunchucks or something like that? There's some weird thing, because I was reading about from when the Ninja Turtles movies were coming out. They had to cut out scenes where Michelangelo actually uses his nunchucks, and you're like,
why nunchucks?
I don't know. They have
they're using
a gang of hooligans were chucking in Shaftesbury.
Yeah.
It's something that's like on the book still from a long time ago, where it's like, we don't display the use of ninja weapons and British.
Leonardo has
chuckery will not be tolerated, I say.
I don't understand. Wait,
it's just
why
not
nunchucks?
It's just not civilized, I tell you. I gotta see.
At least take them out with guns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here you go. The British
joined together by chains.
It was.
Are they not using sabers?
This is okay. This is the best. Okay. There's an article about this which everybody should check out from tedium.com. The article's called "No Nunchuck," and specifically, it was one. They don't have the MPA like we do in terms of the ratings and stuff like that. They have government censorship, and they talk about it is one guy specifically who wouldn't allow movies with nunchucks. Starting with, they wouldn't show Enter the Dragon. The British Board of Film Classification talked about, or at least until they cut out the nunchuck scenes.
Oh, so like the most famous sequences in that movie. Okay, sure.
And apparently this guy's name was James Furman.
Fuck you, James Furman.
Yeah, and apparently there was like uproar in the 70s of them going like, why the fuck is this guy deciding what we get to see? I don't. But this continued. He was on the board up into the 90s and was like, no Ninja Turtles will be having any nunchucks in a film here. Not for the children, I tells you.
Why particularly, like, why nunchucks in particular? I'd understand if it was like violence to a certain degree in general, but
right.
Why specifically nunchucks?
let's see here. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I wish I wasn't expecting to do
No,
this.
that's
But
right.
I am just going like the guy.
I'm gonna look it up after.
The guy
this.
had some kind of thing about these aren't military sanctioned weapons, and
Okay.
yeah, he was worried a whole generation of kids would start using them, and it was a bad influence. I mean, it's just classic.
Well, he was
clone.
half right.
I mean, yeah, fair
It's
enough.
just
I did own
classic-
a pair of nunchucks as a kid.
It is just
I'm
classic.
looking at a pair right now.
Colonial war. I was gonna say, Ibrahim, I know I've talked to you about your collection of ninja weapons. Years ago, I think like one of the things I talked about you when we first met was you were in the process of getting every Ninja Turtles weapon.
Yeah, my wife, when we first started dating, like our first Christmas together, she got me a pair of Psy, and I was just like, that was when I knew I was going to marry her. And then,
Oh yeah. No, yeah, you don't do better than that. Listman, do you still have your Psy?
I do, yeah. They're in storage downstairs, but I do still have them.
Because that was also Listman was that kid in high school. If you look at all of our, I don't think we made. We used to make movies in high school. I don't think there's a one of them that doesn't have a katana, some sais, nunchucks, or
Hell
something.
yeah.
And those were all
Okay.
yours, Listman.
Oh yeah.
quick high school ninja story.
Yeah.
This was before the internet was like, you could just get anything on the internet. I mean, we had, I graduated in 2003, so it was like,
Yeah.
And I was desperately looking for a ninja suit. I wanted one so badly.
Sure.
And I finally found one, I think at a costume store in Seattle when I was up there visiting family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had that plus a spare like mask and hood set or whatever. So, and I had ninja swords at that point. So my friends and I one night were like, let's go be ninjas, like creeping around and shit. So my buddies wore all black. I wore my thing. One of my other friends wore my spare head setup. And we went to this park that had like, a bunch of trees and stuff in our neighborhood. And I look over across the street and there was a big tree right up next to a fence, like a wooden fence. And it was casting like the darkest shadow you've ever seen. So I was like, oh my God, guys, we're in the tree line at the park. And I'm like, I'm going to run over there and hide in the shadow. Tell me if you can see me. And they're like, okay, go. So I run over there, and I get, and I'm in the shadow and they're like, oh my God, we can't see you at all. And I'm just like, this is the greatest moment of my life. Yeah. And then like a Ford Taurus goes driving by and just completely bathes me in headlight. So somebody just sees this fucking 16-year-old kid dressed like a ninja crouched in like I'm so lucky nobody called the cops on me.
Yeah, exactly. We got the cops called on us a few times when we were making our movies.
Yeah, I believe it.
We'd just be idiots, like idiot kids walking around with like airsoft guns,
Yeah. We had the ire of some suburban cops who had nothing better to do, of course. But by the way, I've continued to skim this article. Worth checking out, if only for the British poster for Enter the Dragon, because on the poster, of course, he's holding the nunchucks, right?
He's got the
famous
nunchucks,
painting.
yeah.
They painted in to just make it a staff that he's holding on the poster. Wow. But it was the other thing I'm also finding out, there was a long list of weapons you couldn't show. It wasn't just nunchucks.
Okay.
Also included were Ninja Death Stars. This is the official wording, by the way. Ninja Death Stars, spiked knuckle dusters, metal claws, butterfly knives, lighted aerosols, crossbows, telescopic catapults, and then eventually in the 80s, they didn't allow Rambo movies because of the knife.
As well as sanctions on any form of tomfoolery.
Yes, only gentlemen weapons.
Yeah. Perhaps,
rapiers.
Yeah, a rapier or a musket should be shown in films. I just like that. That's so weird. That is not the case, of course, anymore.
Specific.
But
they were just worried about people going, "Oi, that bloke's got 2 sticks with a chain betwixt them, innit? Let's go make some." And then,
but
who knows what he's going to do? That
it's a big, it's a big reason why the second Ninja Turtles movie, Secret of the Ooze, they really don't use their weapons ever in that movie.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's actually weird. Watch it when I rewatched those as an adult. I was like, Leonardo, you're not even pulling your swords. Like they're there,
Yeah.
but
Do you think they edit out the cold cut or the sausage link
when he has
scene
the
with
sausage,
Michelangelo?
I wonder if that was like a workaround where it's like, well, I suppose if there's sausages, then it's just a bit
And
of
no
silliness.
weaponized bangers, I say.
That has nothing to do with weapons. It's just a mistreatment of breakfast meats. All right, we're just we'll take this right to the climax of the movie here, which is everything you want to see. Here he's in his full ninja getup with his helmet and his armor, which you've got to have, of course,
Speaking of
deflecting
Ninja
bullets.
Turtles.
Yeah, it's very shreddery. Yeah, and he's
Very,
deflecting
very shredder.
bullets with it, but now he's got his bow and arrow, and he is just laying waste to this mansion full of goons. Reminds me, it's kind of like a ninja version of the end of Commando.
Yes.
You know what just occurred to me? Okay, so this fight starts off at like the mobster guy's mansion compound thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then eventually they get Limehouse jumps into a truck
Mhm.
and Shokasugi's like chasing him and fighting him, and then he latches onto the bottom of the truck,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes from daylight to like deep night. So
Yeah.
Yes.
he's theoretically
hours.
Like it
on
was
this.
early morning,
Yeah.
based on like the lighting of the scene. So he,
Yeah,
I
so
also
he's
wrote
on the
this
bottom
down.
of this truck for hours,
Yeah.
right?
At
like
least
minimum.
12 hours.
This is
And-
De Niro in Cape Fear when he latches himself to the bottom of Nick Nolte's car as they drive to their vacation home or whatever, you know.
yeah.
But I'm wondering, so then they end up in this mannequin warehouse, and the whole time I was thinking it was Sam Green. Did we
Yeah, Sam
decide his
Green,
name
yeah.
was Sam Green?
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time I was thinking it was his warehouse, but maybe this was just a warehouse that they ended up at.
Yeah,
Could
but
be.
a still insane warehouse because downstairs
Yeah.
it's mannequin storage, upstairs it's some kind of lumber plant.
Right. And I was watching there
It's a
on the
combo.
special features, there was an interview with Shokasugi where he was talking about his history, how he got into film and stuff. And then he was talking a little bit about this movie. And if I'm remembering correctly, this was his idea to set it in a, like, he thought it would be really dope to have these mannequins that you could like, that they were hiding amongst and just kind of
I will-
It's very
obfuscating,
creepy.
you know.
It is
Yeah.
It's pretty
legitimately
effective.
scary when Limehouse pops up with just that mannequin head. That's
He's
startled
pulling
me.
an ET, just hiding amongst them in Gertie's closet or whatever, you know.
It's weird, and it once again it stands out. This movie does stuff where I'm like, well, that's new.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
doesn't make
not
much
since that
sense, but
garment
it's pretty
factory. Listen, the garment factory with the open
With the-
acid pit in Death Wish 5 have we seen a climax quite like this. We never did
Yeah.
figure out what they needed a giant vat of acid for in that clothing factory.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's just trying to recapture the Enter the Dragon like Hall of Mirrors fight scene at the end. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
yeah.
Like, there has to be some sort of weird, like interesting new like place to fight.
Right, where
just to
it
differentiate
goes
yourself.
from hand to hand, one-on-one combat to hiding amongst something, searching for each other, kind
like
of thing.
finally a enemy is using the tactics against like ninja tactics against him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so he takes everybody out. There's lots of throwing stars to the head here, which is what you
Oh.
want.
So good.
Lots of arrows, lots of spikes.
When he approaches that gate and those two guys are standing there, it's like, how do they not see him like glinting in the sun with his shiny outfit?
This is the thing. Attacking at morning in the ninja costume, interesting choice.
Bit of a strange choice.
That's where the black isn't doing him much help.
I do like though that it was kind of just like a frontal assault from this sort of like wraith of a man, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
like imagine you're just living in the middle of Houston and then all of a sudden you turn around and that guy's there and you're just like, what the fuck? Even if he's not trying to kill you, that's a weird occurrence, right?
It's
and then
true.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden you have sharp implements coming at you and stuff. Like, pretty cool.
He takes these guys out, and there's also just sequences where he's literally just slicing through guys. There is one. Isn't there one where he's doing the flip and in midair like cuts some throats? I
believe
thought
so,
that was
yeah.
There's
impressive.
several. I think on several occasions he slices two people's throats in one fluid motion.
Yep.
Like that happens at least 2 or 3 times in the sequence. Which is
Absolutely.
very good.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love how he kept staking the sword in the ground to like use his bow and arrow and stuff. Like
yeah.
he'd kind of flip it and then
Yeah, very. Yeah, it felt like when they were crafting the choreography, there was a series of images that they really wanted to like have on the screen, like almost
Yeah.
like a comic book, sort of like full page panel or something. It's like we need this image, and then this image, and then this image, and we'll sort of fill in the details of how we
Right.
go from one.
I
to
don't
the
know that
other.
we've mentioned specifically that Sho Kosugi is the fight choreographer for this movie. We said he's done it for plenty of other movies, but he is credited as designing all the fights for this film. When he comes up against the still living other corrupt cop, he does make a move where he has a pouch of sand that he throws in his eyes, which takes him off guard, and then he just guts him with a knife. It was pretty good. Because now we're getting to him taking out the recognizable bad guys of the movie.
and in this sequence he used a lot, 2 or 3 instances where he would use the smoke bomb.
Yeah.
And just throw it down, and I thought it was a cool use of it because typically that's like a disappearing act thing, right? But he would do it as a means of theatricality and deception, right? And it was cool like to see it used in that way because you don't get that a lot.
Well, he's doing the smoke bomb, he's doing the sand, he's doing things to disorient his enemies, which is cool to see. And then he does get the mob boss with whatever this circular thing of needles is, gets that guy in the throat. I forgot. I called it a spike wheel in my notes.
That's accurate.
Gets that to the neck, and then I do like Limehouse being like, "Fuck it, I'm out of here." He gets in a truck, and then you wouldn't. You want to talk about when we get the crescendo of the flipping is when he flips over this truck driving at him, right?
Yeah, that was rad. It looked like it was probably a perspective thing where he was, closer to the camera and then flipped.
I think so, but it's still pretty cool to see.
It was clean though. Yeah, I liked it.
It was nice. And so he flips over that. Then he gets into the back of the truck, over the back of the truck, under the truck, and he's now hanging under the truck. Limehouse is a little bit smarter about trying to get him off of the truck than the other guy. He is trying to like drive into stuff and speed through stuff. You get a lot of the axles turning and stuff like that shows almost getting hit by. They definitely build more tension with this. And then for about 6 hours he drives to some warehouse, I guess.
I do want to say too about the flipping in this movie. Obviously they do a lot of things where there's like a trampoline out of the frame, but there were some of the flips where you can see like the beginning and end of it. And the guy they had doing the flips was just like vaulting. I mean, it was pretty incredible.
I mean, that's one of the things I love about when we go back to these 80s movies too. You don't have the CGI. I'm not saying there's no wire work in these movies, but there's certainly a lot less wire work. And we are just looking at awesome stunts and practical action pieces. It's nice to see. Yeah. It's a breather from today's CGI heavy stuff, especially on the lazy, which is we always complain about these on modern movies. They use a lot of CGI, and it's bad CGI because they don't have the money to do good CGI. So
this movie feels more akin to Hong Kong movies at this time.
Definitely.
Like
I mean that is the thing. This
they approach action.
This feels Asian, even though it's an American movie, in a good way. Like it does feel like they were really trying to make a pure martial arts movie in a way that Canon was always just kind of using the popularity of ninjas, but not really trying to make a ninja movie like they would in Japan.
Right.
So Limehouse, this must be Limehouse's warehouse because a bunch of guys run out when he gets there, or he had his guys meet him there or something, right? Because all these henchmen come out because Limehouse gets a fire axe that he's coming at Sho Kosugi with.
Oh, yeah.
And I do love that, of course, he just plunges it into the chest of one of his guys that he swings at wildly.
Because he doesn't care. He's unhinged.
Does not care.
Nope. He's cutting through guys with this fire axe. which is nice. I was nice to see. By the way, another if you want to see a insane fire axe fight, if people need to see Bullet to the Head, I think it is the Sylvester Stallone movie where Sylvester Stallone and Jason Momoa have a fire axe duel at the end.
What?
Yeah, that
Wait,
is
when did this movie come out?
like in the 2010 maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is like
thereabouts.
early on Jason Momoa
Yeah.
career. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'll check this out.
that movie is nuts. That's
Yeah.
the thing I remember from it distinctly, though. Of course, it's like, all right. Yeah. So they then leads into this chase of once again through the warehouse. We talked quite a bit about the mannequin thing. Oh, Show does take he does get him
Spike
in the
to the
leg in the
Yeah.
mannequin
Yeah.
house, because when he does this flip, this insane impossible flip up to the next level of the warehouse, we do see that he lands as like, ooh, that hurt the leg.
Yeah.
It's
And that flip was clearly just like a backflip,
yeah.
reverse.
It's the
to be-
classic.
Yeah.
It's the classic $6 million man of jumping off of something and then playing it backwards, so it looks like you're jumping
Yeah.
onto something.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that throughout this scene specifically, it would just get really dark all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was like a grading thing they were doing to make it like, shadows, or if that was just like a byproduct of the budget or something, but
Yeah, I
it
couldn't
stuck
tell.
out.
It did seem like it was. I don't know if that's because obviously we were looking at the high def restoration. I don't know if parts of this were damaged because I don't think these movies were
Right.
taken care of by any means. And even the best restoration and film scanners can still only do so much at a certain point. I don't know. Yeah, it was weird though. It didn't seem intentional from a filmmaking standpoint.
Yeah, it seemed like just somebody spilled something on the print.
Oops. Oh, come on.
Oh, my coffee.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. We'll just get some paper towels and sop this up. It'll be fine.
Right.
No
It'll
one's
just
gonna.
tamp
No
it
one's
down.
gonna notice. It'll be fine.
I didn't actually notice, but because I watched this on YouTube, and the video quality was terrible.
It looked pretty good in the Blu-ray, I have to say.
Yeah.
Like they did a pretty good job restoring it, I thought, other than those scenes,
Yeah,
obviously.
I actually no. I thought I was very impressed. Arrow Video is the company that put this out, and I love their stuff. They do amazing restorations, and what I like is they've kind of become the Criterion of cult films. Criterion does the high-end arts film, which I love their stuff too, but Arrow is
yeah.
preserving stuff like this or The Last Starfighter or movies like that where you're going like, oh yeah, genre stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because these movies deserve to be,
Totally, yeah. And they also, I also have their Blu-ray of the other Shokasugi movies at Rage Against Honor. I
Oh, I've
believe
never
it-
heard of that one.
Oh, it's
neither
yeah,
have I.
that's a good one too. I think that's the one he made after this. That also has the Suns in it. This all leads to the second they're in a lumber factory. You're like, okay, we're using a saw of some kind, right? In this final thing,
Of course.
Oh, and
Oh.
we should point out that the helmet he's wearing, which I've actually seen, like in that Tenchu game, which is does a lot to, I think, be as accurate as they can, I guess, in terms of it's not super. They don't take a lot of liberties, I don't think. You can get an armor set that is similar to that, and I'm like, maybe that was like a real kind of ninja armor thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because also the shredder is very similar to that, so
yeah.
I'm wondering if they're all pulling from the same kind of sources. So the helmet in this I used to think was corny back in the day, and then seeing that stuff I was like, oh, maybe they were actually kind of basing this on something. Although the shuriken, on the forehead mounted there was a little
It's a little wonky. Yeah.
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 But so he gets that as like a parting gift from his surrogate father when he
Right,
leaves
right.
Japan in the beginning.
Mhm.
So that comes back, in this scene. And the whole time you're going, he's going to use that shuriken for something.
Yep.
It's got to
Yep.
pay off, right? Yeah.
I'm so glad they did pay it off.
Oh, and it pays off so well too.
It's
Yeah.
so I thought it was for sure going to be him throwing a shuriken at the guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
Yes.
going to be kind of lame.
No,
But the way he did it was pretty dope.
it's way
Yeah.
cooler and also Batman-y. Like it feels like a Batarang move to throw it at the thing
does.
and stop because
Turn off.
Limehouse is trying to use the saw to kill him, and he throws that shuriken and hits the off button on the whole conveyor belt saw thing. And when that happened, I went, oh, that's cool. That's way cooler than him throwing it into someone.
Yes.
And so, yeah, then that leads to it's time for Limehouse to just pick up a fucking chainsaw and come at him.
Which, I don't know if you've ever started a chainsaw. It's a process.
It is.
Yeah, you got to prime it. You got to... yeah.
No, this guy gets it going right away, man.
He is so lucky that a chainsaw with a blade still on it is just sitting around with a full tank of gas.
Right.
Like, very convenient.
Yeah, I know. It is just...
Yeah.
It does seem like whoever was working in this lumber factory was just like, I guess we're done for the day, and just dropped everything they were doing.
Yeah.
It's just like, no,
Like,
that's
something
it.
happened to cause everybody to leave all of their stuff just out and open for an extended period of time.
Well, it's time
I
for
wonder if
us
that's
to...
why they had everybody go running when Limehouse showed up.
Maybe. That could be.
You know, to kind of...
Oh, yeah, I
But
didn't
who
think
knows?
about
That
that.
could be. That could be. Yeah.
I like the
Like,
idea
all of these guys who are used to, like, using heavy machinery, wielding chainsaws, lifting heavy stuff, they see this one guy coming, like, we got to get out of here. You know?
Oh, that crazy guy's coming back. Oh, shit.
But
He drove here in a truck. Let's go.
Oh, no.
I'm like, man, one of two things I was hoping for, and they do deliver on one, is I'm like, either Limehouse has got to go into the giant industrial saw, or the other scenario is he drops the chainsaw and is running and he falls, and then, like, Shokazugi pushes him onto it, which I also would have appreciated. And I feel like
Which would have been kind of a counterweight to the scene with his brother in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I did see that in something fairly recently. A guy like dropped onto
on
a
chainsaw.
You know, I am resident gorehound on here and over on the Monsters podcast I do. So everybody knows about the sick, twisted shit I watch. But
we're worried, John.
So
this is actually an internet.
The thing is, me saying that literally could have been almost anything I was watching. Like,
yeah.
The episode is Pray for Death, but we're here to pray for you, John.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Pray
people
for your
where
soul.
My co-host on the Monsters podcast, Brendan, is always like, "Oh my god." But yeah, no, it ends up with him pinning this guy to
atop this log,
a log,
on a conveyor belt.
like crucifies him basically on top of it, which is pretty cool, man. And this is when he's going, just kill me. And I didn't think about that either, but you're right, Ibrahim. He is praying for death. It came true.
Wow.
This movie delivers on its promises.
They actually deliver on promises.
I love it, man.
Wow.
That makes me happy. But being the Gorehound, I will say you don't get I mean, I don't actually expect to see this guy sawed in half, but could he use some blood splatter or something? It's a little...
I was a little surprised, because this movie does not hold back with a lot of the other kills in this,
Even
so
the shadow, effect of it is a little like, oh, okay. It's very it feels a little bit like our reaction to the bad guy getting killed at the end of Cobra. Let's remember where he hangs the guy up on the thing and then pushes him into like the industrial oven, and then it just cuts away.
And they don't really show it.
We don't see the guy get lit up. But we also talked about how Stallone went to bat for the extremely gory cut of Cobra because that guy's sensibilities match up with mine. In the aforementioned 06 Rambo that you mentioned there, Ibrahim, is one of the goriest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's up there.
That guy, Stallone never one to hold back. So, but still, I am satisfied with this ending for Limehouse.
Yes, it's at least a very eccentric.
And him taking the shuriken off of the button to start the thing up is nice.
To start it up again, yeah. Getting a lot of work out of that shuriken. It's very nice.
Yeah, really good stuff. So he's done. The ninja mission is over, but we got to end on the mother's grave and his promise that
which is interestingly not a headstone, but just like a little metal stake with a little insert placard on it that has her name and years of life.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the same cemetery that they were at the beginning of the film when they came to America?
Yeah, they're visiting her father's grave. I
Her
think
father,
she was buried next to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is the idea. That is better than Jesus, what were we watching the other week? Beyond the Law, where they had those cheap like foam tombstones where they had written in clearly on like After Effects. They didn't even paint it or carve it in there.
It was
they just
floating over.
Yeah, it just was stuck there. Yeah,
It
and it was just hanging
so
there
bad.
as the camera's pulling out, and
Yeah.
you can see the thing wobbling on top of it. Oh, that was
That's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about as far as like people just being completely lazy and like just having CG fix things in post.
That's the type of thing that I would do for free if I found out a movie was doing that. I'd be like, just let me do it. Let me carve the names into some foam.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
Cheap.
like it's
That's-
not that hard.
That's what we talk.
Yeah.
We go. That was that much like to do that. They're like, no.
Any amount of effort.
And remember, there were radically different sizes of tombstones too. Like one was really big, and one was basically just a little rock.
Yes.
Horrible
it
movie.
was-
Beyond the Law.
it was terrible.
That's a 2019 Seagal joint. So
It's-
anyway,
Yeah,
and yeah, our Commissioner Gordon guy is there to go, well, gee, the craziest thing happened. The entire mob was wiped out by what people are saying, a ninja. Now, correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but he's just turned into Columbo in my impression. But correct me if
He
I'm
Well, he
literally,
did-
well, no, because he go, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
yeah,
he does have the moments.
he does.
One thing.
Yep.
He
One more-
literally,
exactly, that's
when
what
he
I was
did
about
that,
to
I went, okay, you can't just steal another cop's catchphrase. Like that's, but he is just going, now correct me if I'm wrong, but ninjas don't exist anymore, do they? And Sho Kasugi's like, no, of course not.
Yeah, and the kid's like, I think he's seen too many ninja movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, this is where I really wanted a sequel to continue this dynamic of like, I know you're the ninja, I can't sanction what you're doing, but let me tell you about we got this we got this new guy with a taste for the theatrical. Leaves a calling card. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I desperately want to see.
I just want a movie that
I
starts
wish
with
there
him
was more
already
of these.
in the ninja costume. He's regularly fighting crime with his son,
Yeah.
who's training to be a ninja. And his other son can work the computers or something, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say he could be the guy in the chair, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta say, I mean, obviously this movie has a lot of flaws, and there's
Sure.
the thread about the brother that doesn't really go anywhere. But for the most part, everything in this movie was driving toward something.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I think you don't see that with a lot of these, especially a ninja movie from the 80s. It's
Right.
usually just a collection of scenes.
Yeah.
But this is actually has a through line throughout the whole thing, which
It does.
I remember watching this guy 20 years ago at this point and being like, you know what? That was a cool movie. And then revisiting it again with, fresh eyes and stuff is like, it satisfied a lot more than I thought it would, which was pretty cool.
Mhm.
Absolutely. No, this movie, this is one of the best movies we've ever done on this show, Lisman.
It's up there for sure. Yeah.
And
This and Security, right?
Security, very good. We also love Assassination Games. I think is still our number one
Assassination Game's
with
pretty good.
Jean-Claude
Wake of
Van
Death,
Damme.
also pretty good.
Well, we're big Van Damme heads on the show. We are
We are.
serious Van Damme lovers. So,
I'm excited to listen to the Replicant episode because
Oh man.
that's just a fantastic acting outing from Van Damme, and that part where he goes to the red light district in his sweatpants is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a movie.
that is, and that's a Gergoni's the guest on that one, and
Yeah.
we get that is one of our
Oh,
longest
wow.
episodes because we get deep
That-
into that. So
That's maybe the weirdest. That's one of the weirder movies we've seen on this podcast, I think.
yes, it is. I think we did
Yeah.
say that might be it's not the best or worst. It's the strangest movie we've done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we as we always do, there aren't any one-liners here, but do you guys have a favorite kill in this movie? Can we collectively come up with the movie's best? This movie has a lot of kills. Sometimes it's pretty easy because there's only one or two interesting ones. But here,
Yeah.
there's a lot to go with. I think in concept, the Limehouse one is the best.
Right. Yeah.
But I
it's
don't know that
very,
in execution it is.
Mm.
My favorite. I mean, yeah, the Limehouse is the best one. My favorite one is I can't remember if it's when he's like storming their compound or if it's on the boat. But there's one of the guys in a suit, and he grabs him and slits his throat, and the guy just makes this face right at the camera. I actually rewound it to watch it again because it's just like gritted teeth, eyes wide, like, you know.
Yeah,
it was very cartoonish.
I
and
think
it was
that I
pretty,
think that's
pretty
in
awesome.
the compound right at the end, because I do kind of remember there was a guy. One of our favorite things on the show is when a random henchman gets like a dramatic death, like it's
Yeah.
import is put on it, but it's not a major villain. It's just a guy. Those
And
are
most
some
of the time,
best.
it's like way like more impressive than the actual final kill at the end of the movie.
Right.
You know, where you really focus on one guy getting thrown off a roof, and you're like, we didn't even know that guy, but we watched him sail down the entire, distance to the ground. It's like, it was just some guy.
Yeah.
So that is pretty good. Lisbon, was there anything that stood out to you?
I mean, a lot of the kills are pretty quick.
That's why I
it's
think
They do a lot of the
like, three
cutaway,
people dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
or like he'll throw a star and then it'll cut to a guy turning his head and it's already impaled in him.
That's classic. I love it's behind the guy and he falls into frame with the thing in his head. That's what I love about these movies, and also from our attempts to make these kinds of movies in high school, learning all those tricks, throwing.
Yeah.
We did one where you throw a hatchet and the camera whip pans and it's already in the, there's a second hatchet in the guy's chest, like,
Right.
classic stuff like that. No, I think it has to be the Limehouse death, because it's really the only one that,
so.
like, I think
It
that
really
has to be
jumps out to me,
the one that takes the cake here.
Yeah.
Because it
It
is
could've
the
been-
only.
I do wish it was a little bit better.
I think
but,
the key that
it's still
saves
pretty
it though
constant.
is the sticking of him to it.
Yes.
That does give you the
Yes.
visceral violence of it, even if you don't get as much of a taste of the actual Saw. By the way, what's the movie? Class of 1984. If you really want to see a table saw do some damage in graphic
I don't
detail.
know if I do. I don't
Yeah.
actually know if I do.
That is a much nastier movie than this.
You get a sense of a table saw death in Kung Lao's fatality in Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
That's true.
You
Boy.
do, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you better believe I love that.
I did love that,
Yeah,
yeah.
Lisman and I were big fans.
Because
of
that was like
Mortal Kombat.
cartoony enough to like it was just very silly in the way that Mortal Kombat is.
Yeah, that movie.
I loved that.
That movie really satiated the gore factor for sure on that, which was in a fun video game way.
They understood the assignment.
Yeah, and then as you know, Lisman and Ibrahim, you've heard the show. I am always trying to find the strangest IMDb reviews for these movies, and this one, it's not so much his opinion. It is the review itself that is strange here. So this comes to us from IMDb user Myers62084. And the review is titled "Awesome Movie for Ninja Fans." And I will say, I don't always mention this. This was written in 2006, but I think that's important to some of the stuff he mentions here.
Okay.
This is literally how the review starts. The song isn't called Back from the Shadows. It is called Back to the Shadows. And it is sung by Peggy Abernathy. It clearly states that in the credits of the movie if you watch them. I thought the movie was good. Then again, I am a ninja fanatic. Anyway, has good fight scenes, and I thought it had a good summary. I would recommend that if you are a Shokasugi fan, that you watch this movie. I would also like to see this released on DVD along with Enter the Ninja and Ninja 3. Apparently not a Revenge of the Ninja fan. Anyway, I would like to know where I can find the song Back to the Shadows. Shokasugi is an awesome actor, and I can't wait for the new ninja movie of his to come out. Only a ninja can stop a ninja. 10 out of 10 stars. I just love that he just kept being fixated on the song. It's like, this is great,
song.
the fight scenes are great, but the
People
song!
keep getting it wrong.
It's
Why
as
do
if
people not like this?
Like who's he responding to in that? you
Yeah,
know?
it's not a forum board. These are individual reviews. I guess he read through other reviews and... No, it's not called this. It's not called this. And it is sung by Peggy Abernathy.
I also like that he says, if you're a Shokasugi fan and you haven't seen this movie, like, who's a Sho Kosugi fan who's never seen this movie?
There-
Like, it's such a niche thing, and he was in like 10 movies.
Yeah, I know.
you
There's only a handful of Shokasugi movies.
Right.
But I do like that he goes, I want Enter the Ninja and Ninja 3 on DVD. Fuck that second one. I don't give a
Right.
shit. That doesn't mean anything to me. And then, Ibrahim, I don't know if you're familiar with the segment we do based around our favorite Amazon reviewer, a man called Bruce Winning. And it is time for a segment we call The Winning Opinion. This is a segment where we do read reviews from Amazon user Bruce Winning, a man who has right around 1,500 IMDb reviews. He is
prolific.
He seems to review everything he watches, and he watches a lot of stuff similar to what we watch. Now, he doesn't always review the movies we're talking about, so sometimes I do have to reach into his back catalog. But this time I didn't have to reach far because this is his most recent review, Listman, and he's actually catching up with us by reviewing a movie we did a couple weeks ago on the show called Pound of Flesh. Which, if you're not familiar with it, Ibrahim, this is a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme where he is attempting to get his kidney back that was stolen by black market organ thieves.
I've seen that one.
It's relatively recent. It was like late.
Yeah, it is
like
wild.
Around there.
Because we talked about one of the things we loved in the movie is it has the same vibe as like a revenge movie, but instead of going, give me my wife back, he is literally yelling at people, give me my kidney back. Where is my kidney?
Incredible.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
Good.
Now, listen, we weren't the biggest fans of that movie, but maybe our friend Bruce enjoyed it more than we did. His review
has a lot of the things he likes.
His review is titled Jean-Claude Van Damme has the best action movies. I very much like the 16:9 video. I very much like the 5.1 surround sound. I like the action and violence. I like the shooting and stabbing. I like the punching and kicking. I like the explosions. I like the car chases. I had to remove several from the list what Prime thinks I would like, and JCVD popped up, and I knew I had found what I have always wanted. This is probably the best movie that I have ever watched. 5 out of 5 stars.
So we have learned something from this review.
Yeah.
He doesn't take everything that Amazon recommends to him, which is news to me.
Because one of the things we enjoy about his reviews is he's frequently writing to Amazon and thanking them for the recommendations. You really know me, Amazon. I do like this movie.
Yeah.
But I guess he did reject some, but that led him, luckily, to JCVD and apparently the best movie he's ever watched.
Has he watched other better Van Damme movies?
Well, if you recall, Listman, he didn't like Bloodsport.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe Van Damme's best movie?
It's up there.
It's among them. I mean, we're big Hard Target guys on the show, as we've talked about.
Yes.
Yes. And soon, actually, over on our Patreon, you can listen to Listman and I watch Hard Target. We did a commentary track for it. So, but yeah. So there's your Bruce Winning review for the week. Ibrahim, the other reason we wanted to have you on the show beyond you're always entertaining, and you of course we had to have you on for Pray for Death. You have a new comic book coming out, though, a new original graphic novel from Humanoids.
Yes, sir. It's called Retroactive, and the elevator pitch is James Bond meets Groundhog Day. It's about a in the not too distant future, time travel is a thing, but it's a secret, and the government security organizations like the CIA and whatnot have their own basically time bureaus, and we follow an agent from the U.S. bureau who is chasing after an anomaly in the timeline and ends up being stuck in a time loop, and so he has to figure out a way out of the loop to get back to his own time and save the day, and essentially in a nutshell.
Nice. And you were nice enough to send Listman and I a copy of it, and dude, this is just, I mean, number one, if you're an Action Shelf listener, man, this book is action-packed.
I mean, it feels like James Bond movies, like in the best way possible. I love the Cold War intrigue aspect to it. Very, very
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Honestly, I picked it up. I read it last night, and I read it all the way through in one sitting because I couldn't stop reading it.
That's awesome. So thank you.
Yeah.
Well, as John knows, I'm a big James Bond fan, and there's a lot of that DNA in this book. Like even, I even did like an opening sequence, like a pre-credit kind of,
And
Um,
man, when that was what it was, I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything, but when that what scenario that is in that mission, I was like, oh man, especially knowing and listen, if you haven't read, I highly recommend Ibrahim's book Jaeger as well, which is about some Nazi hunting. Dude, yeah, I mean, the action in this though is just, I mean, yeah, that's always been a skill of yours. I feel like you keep getting better and better with the action, because yeah, same as Listman, I was just whipping through this thing and was so compelled by it.
Thanks,
So,
man. Yeah, with that opening thing, I wanted to get the question out of the way. Like, would you go back in time and kill Hitler?
yeah,
Because that's always a time travel thing, especially if you're dealing with espionage. And I was just like, let's
Right.
answer that question right off the bat.
Yeah.
You would have to, based on the
I mean,
concept of the world alone.
you hit on the
Right.
two, right? The Hitler and then the saving JFK. Those are kind of two of the big ones, right?
Yeah.
No, I love it, and of course people should check it out. Go to your local comic book shop. It'll be out. When does it come out?
I believe it's April 21st.
Okay, so from the...
it got moved back by like 2 weeks because of supply chain stuff.
yeah.
And I believe the new date is the 21st. You can pre-order it now. I actually have a website set up for it, retroactivecomic.com. And there's a trailer that I made for it, as well as links to order it via, bookshop.org or actually that I don't think it was on Bookshop, but like Barnes and Noble, Amazon. There's a find your local comic shop link there.
Nice.
Wherever fine books are sold, you can pre-order it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually running a pre-order giveaway right now, where if you pre-order it and you send a screen cap of the receipt or whatever to retroactivecomic@gmail.com, you get entered to win like one of dozens of stuff. I've got signed book plate stickers, t-shirts, signed comics and graphic novels, original art pages, all that kind of stuff is in there. So
very cool, man. That is great. Yeah. Definitely check that out. It gets the highest of recommends from us here on the show.
Thank you. Oh, and also actually the following day on that Wednesday, actually no, I think it'd be the 19th then, because on April 20th, I have to look up what day it is. It comes out the third week of April.
Yeah.
On April 20th, I have a Doctor Strange one shot coming out from Marvel.
And the preview images from that are so cool. That is...
Thanks, man.
That, I mean, I'm a massive Doctor Strange
I know
fan.
I can see the eye of Agamotto.
Yeah,
Agamotto, whatever,
it hangs on my wall. Yeah. It's no. So that, I mean, that was one of those when I saw you post those. I'm like, I can't believe somebody I know is drawing Doctor Strange. That's awesome.
I love the character despite my inability to pronounce his amulet's name correctly. So
people going, I'm not getting it. He doesn't know what he's
real
talking
treat.
about. That is awesome, I'm so excited to read that. I've loved the stuff you've been doing at Marvel, man, because the Old Man Logan stuff looks great as well.
Yeah, that was a fun one too. It's fun to kind of get in and do these one shots and then get back to my long form graphic novel stuff.
Yes.
I'd like to do a longer series at Marvel eventually, but retroactive, Doctor Strange, and then actually the aforementioned Jaeger comes out in a collected edition in May. This was a book that I did as a digital first thing through this, now I think they're still around, but somewhat defunct app that was like a comics for your mobile,
Right.
But I drew it in a way that it could be printed because I knew I wanted it to have a shelf life. And then I was self-publishing it for, several years, just like before a con, I'd order a bunch of copies in print. But a friend of mine, Fabrice Sapolsky, who wrote Spider-Man Noir at Marvel back in the day.
So good.
He was actually the senior editor at Humanoids for a while, and he's the one who brought me into the fold there. He has since branched out and started his own publishing imprint called Fair Square Comics that aims to highlight like immigrant, marginalized, people of color creators. So he asked me like, hey man, do you have anything that, you would like to have in print through this? And I was like, yeah, actually I have this book Jaeger. So that's coming out under their banner Classified, which is kind of like a lot, spy and noir and stuff, stories. Yeah, so that's in previews right now. That comes out in, I can't remember what day, but in May. So that'll be in comic shops for the first time.
Also very cool if you're looking for a more grounded kind of spy story that's still very exciting and fun as well. So yeah, I mean, like I said,
Thank you, sir.
I even if we weren't pals, I would be praising this stuff, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I appreciate you guys taking the time to read it. You know,
of
especially when you
course.
got all these movies you got to watch. And...
Speaking of Listman, because of some things we shifted around, this movie that we're doing next week may sound familiar to you, but let's pretend you don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Next week on the show, we are watching Shadow Force.
Wow. That sounds really good, whatever that is, John.
Well, it stars, and this is one of the reasons we picked it, because you and I are both huge A-Team fans from back in the day. And this does star Dirk Faceman Benedict in Shadow Force. And Listman, I will ask as always, would you like the tagline for Shadow Force?
Yeah, definitely.
One cop, one girl, one chance to destroy the Shadow Force.
Ooh. Yeah.
The poster is dope. I'm looking at it right now.
Just Dirk Benedict holding a sexy lady and a gun.
Yeah.
And she's got her hand on his chest, which is, by the way, he's wearing a leather jacket with no shirt underneath.
Of course. I mean, why would he? That doesn't make any sense. I will say, every member of the A-Team, I've seen them and enjoyed them in other things.
Yeah.
I think this is the first thing that I've seen him in that's not the A-Team.
Oh, interesting. Well, because I mean, he does have the other acclaim of being in Battlestar, the original Battlestar Galactica, prior to the A-Team.
Okay.
Yeah, but that
I've only seen the newer.
That's
Battlestar
fine.
Galactica.
I mean, I love the original, but like it's very 70s. Which is fun. But yeah. So anyway, Shadow Force will be next week on the show. And it is, here's the thing. This movie never got released on anything past VHS. So you literally have to watch it for free on YouTube.
Okay. Well, good.
It's always a good sign when I look up stills of the movie and they're all in VHS quality. So we'll be having some fun with that movie. Ibrahim, absolute pleasure to have you on the show. We will definitely be having you back.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you guys for having me. I know this has been a long time coming, and I appreciate your flexibility and squeezing it in for me.
Absolutely. It's the benefit of, unlike my other show, Panel Up, nothing here is pressing at all. None of these.
Most of the time we've recorded like a month in advance, so a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of The Action Shelf. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Michael Listman.
Till next week, get yourself some action.
The Action Shelf.
The Action Shelf is part of the Panel Up Podcast Network. Remember to follow us on social media. We're at Action Shelf Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at actionshelfpod@gmail.com. Of course, you can also support the entire network by heading over to patreon.com/panelup to get cool, exclusive bonus content.
The Action Shelf.